Oh god, where am I? Oh god, there I am. Hello everybody! I love it when I start the stream and I have VTube Studio, but I need to like maximize the VTube Studio window in order for it to actually populate. It's dumb. But hello everyone, happy Monday!
Hey, what's up?
I hope you've all had a good weekend. I hope you all have had a decent time to rest and like chill. I'm sorry I couldn't stream over the weekend. Stuff happened, as it usually does. But I'm just like, wow! I want to play Ace Attorney because I was watching Alejandro and Hayden stream their streams, and it's like it's got me in the mood. And I said that I would stream Investigations 2 for you guys, so. What's the lore behind the VTuber? I think I have a lore command. No, I don't. Never mind. She's a demon summoner. I'm a demon. That's all you really need. You were literally watching that stream? So was I, as I was saying. But yeah. It's a Monday. We're starting shit out. When's the last time you played Ace Attorney? Like, probably a few months ago. It's been a while. But what's her name? Maeve. Wow, you guys are like a brand new batch of chatters, huh? Let's see here. Are you all just Ace Attorney fans that are here to watch another VTuber play through the series? There you go. Thank you, Yasumi. Is a demon summon? Is a typo! Now it's missing the dot after summoner. God! It's a thank you though. But yeah, to give you guys some, you know, lore on my Ace Attorney experience. You're doing a great job, Yasumi. I appreciate you. I've played the entire series. I've played the original trilogy of games, and then I played the Apollo Justice trilogy. And then I played Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2, and I've got the first Investigations game done. This is my first time playing this game. So I'm gonna go right ahead and say, any spoilers, hints, backseating, you're out. Like, I'm pretty fucking protective about my good times with this series, so it'll probably be an insta-ban. So, please don't give me help. I don't need it. I will figure it out eventually. And if you're really, really excited for me to see a character coming up, keep it to yourself until the character shows up. I don't want to have to ban people, but, like, there are some folks that genuinely cannot help themselves, so I have to help them for them. So, let's just be chill and be decent, and let's minimize the number of times I have to switch on sub-only chat. Or, emote only. As I said in Alejandro's chats while he was playing Ace Attorney, don't ruin this for us, chat. But yeah, I'm excited. Are any of you guys Ace Attorney fans? Who's my favorite character from the first investigations? I gotta be real with you. There weren't many characters I really liked in Ace Attorney 1. Like, Ace Attorney 1 was fine. It was alright. I did like Shilong Lang a lot. I thought he was cool. I liked Detective Bad a lot. But, yeah, that game was kind of, I've heard this one's better. Silver Firefly, thank you so much for gifting 5 subbies. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the first game was kind of, if we're gonna be starting with the second game, you guys shouldn't worry about missing out on any lore, because the first game honestly didn't have that much lore. It was just like a series of like a few events, and some people did shit in it. Leafy, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, thank you. What's the Ace Attorney like plot? You're a lawyer, and you defend wacky people in court. That's it. That's basically it. You can Google stuff to figure out more. In what order should I play the Ace Attorney games? Release order. I'm pretty sure, what order should I play Ace Attorney? Yeah, just play them in release order. Like, just get the Ace Attorney trilogy, start from the beginning, and then work your way through that. If the game starts with the name Apollo Justice, you are 3 games ahead. Go back to Phoenix Wright. All right, I'm gonna make sure that I've got my water. There we go. Funny thing is, the Japanese name isn't really Ace Attorney, it's Gyakuten Saiban, which is roughly the best attorney. Actually, Gyakuten Saiban is, it translates to turnabout something. Turnabout trial. So, why are you spreading misinformation on the internet? Turnabout Trial would have been a cooler name, but I guess they wanted to keep the alliteration, but make it more clear that it's about attorneys. What's your favorite character so far? Home Dog, this is the first stream. We haven't even started the game yet, so feel free to ask that question at the end of the presentation. Thank you. Turnabout Trial is pretty alliterative, but like a lot of people probably are like, what the fuck is a turnabout? What's your favorite episode so far? Please refer to my previous answer. Thank you. You like Edgeworth? Yeah. He's pretty great. He's consistently great. Alright, I'm gonna get started. Let me make sure... Actually, wait, hang on. I need to do some other stuff. Let me make sure that I've got this up. I'm gonna pin this. Hang on. And then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to open up this. And then I need to do this. Bop, 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 bop. Yep. And then we'll switch to gaming mode. If the game had voice acting through it all, which character would you like to play? Like, I'm assuming you mean from the original series. Literally anybody I get cast as. I am very much more than happy to play any character in the series. I fucking love it. Don't worry, chat. The small window will fix itself soon. I just need to get through all these so I can get to the options. All right. Let's crank this sucker. There we go. There we go. Do you want high definition Miles Edgeworth or pixel art Miles Edgeworth? Wow, the animation is really solid on the HD. Look at this man strut. Like, they gave him like extra frames on that one. I'm honestly gonna play the HD. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it. I'm gonna keep the arranged soundtrack. How's the audio, by the way? Is everything okay? Is it too loud to anything? A little quiet? Maybe make it a little louder? Let me do this. Is that a bit better? Yeah, I know arranged is new rendition. I got you. Alright. So, to give you guys a quick recap of what happens in Investigations 1, there's a phantom thief child called Kay Faraday. She hangs out with Edgeworth. There's a case where some crazy lady that laughs a lot gets arrested. That's about it. Everything else is kind of irrelevant. It's just not a good game. I heard this one's amazing though, so I'm really excited. Turnabout Trigger. That's a good name for a case. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, these are two different games. We're playing the sequel, because this one's actually good. Here he comes! The presidential plane descends from... Oh god. It's making its final approach and lands right on whatever. Wow, that was really fast. And yes, I'm going to be voice acting everything. Just listen to that crowd! Welcome, Zheng Fa! Welcome, Mr. President! And now, sir, your audience awaits. Yeah, I know I'm gonna VA a lot. Honored friends and allies, I'm here today to deliver a message. The odious criminals that dogged my beloved nation. Thanks to the prosecutor's office of your great country. Jesus Christ, this is so oh. You have our most heartfelt gratitude. However, friends, do not forget. The battle against evil rages on. Here, today, I make you this solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice. Ah! Rabble, 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 rabble. Call the prosecutor's office. Get Miles Edgeworth here right away. If anyone can solve this, he can! There he is. The man. The myth. The goober.
Toast.
March 25th, 2:46 p.m., Gourd Lake, spectator area. The news must be halfway around the world already. Oh, there's Gumshoe! After all, it's not every day an attempt is made on the life of a nation's president. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor. I came as soon as I got the call. The moment the phone rang, I knew it was serious. Mr. Edgeworth! Oh god, here he comes. Oh, thank goodness you're here, sir! This is Dick Gumshoe, a detective with the local precinct. He's the one usually assigned to my cases. How is the president, detective? Oh, we still don't know, Mr. Edgeworth. The medics just boarded the plane a few minutes ago. I see. I hope he's all right. Then I suppose you'd better show me the scene of the crime instead. Right away, sir! Hey! I said, hey! Yeah, you, Ruffles! Oh, God. Hmm? Who's that? You're the prosecutor in charge of this here case, ain't ya? Wanna give me your first impressions? Anything strike y'all as odd? No comment. Detective Gumshoe, with me. Come on now, Mr. Prosecutor, don't be like that! Mr. Edgeworth, wait for me! Now, Detective, I'll need the facts of the case in as much detail as you can give me. Okay. Look at this dude! This is the most ripped-ass president I've ever seen. Jesus Christ. Massive. This dude would be voiced by Patrick Seitz if this game was voiced. Well, the scene was right here at Gourd Lake, as you already know. A bunch of people will gather to welcome the president of Zhengfa. Di Junwan. Yes, I read about his visit. It's been all over the news for days now. Newspaper clipping data jotted down in my organizer. It was raining until just before he landed. Luckily it let up and he went on stage as planned. And then, smack dab in the middle of his speech, bang! A gun goes off and everybody runs for cover, terrified for their lives. Apparently. Apparently. The truth is, I only just showed up myself. I don't know a whole lot more than you do, sir. You were summoned on short notice as well. Sure was. Right in the middle of my day off. I was at the office taking advantage of the peace and quiet to prepare for my next case. And then the boss himself calls you to the scene. Never a dull moment, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? The boss? Yeah, chief prosecutor was right here in the park. Saw the whole thing. First chance he got, he yelled at the top of his lungs, "Get me Edgeworth right away! He's the only man for the job!" Or something like that. I see. Oh, they cordoned the perimeter of the park off as soon as it happened. You'll be happy to know. So our would-be assassin is still here somewhere. Good. Now all you gotta do is find him in the middle of that crowd before they strike again. You're right. I don't know what else our culprit might be planning. This is gonna help me a lot with my British accent. These people are in danger. We don't have a moment to lose. Let's begin with the basics. And search every inch of the crime scene for clues, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Precisely. The president was shot at, which means a gun was involved. That's our first clue. All right, duly noted. Detective Gumshoe, how exactly was the security details surrounding the president's speech organized? Well, sir, our officers were mainly focused on securing the perimeter of the park. The president's people took charge of the rest. He has his own team of bodyguards. You see those guys over there? And maybe we should ask them a few questions. Oh. The identical twins? If I want to talk to them, I'll need to walk over and press A. What the fuck is A? Look, I can walk. I can strut. I can sprint. Look at his little jog. Sir, the president's bodyguards are over there. So they are. I should walk up to the bodyguards and press A to talk to them. Can I help you? You're one of the president's bodyguards, correct? Could you tell me how his security detail was arranged during the speech? 2 of our senior operatives were attached to the president. The rest secured the stage. This isn't our first rodeo. Anything suspicious in that crowd, and we would have spotted it right away. I see. So the president's security was tightly orchestrated for the duration of his speech. Let's investigate further. We should speak with other witnesses and continue to look over the crime scene. We can't afford to leave any stone unturned.
So that's how y'all go about it, huh? Sure is something seeing the pros at work. Care to share a little about what happens to that information once you've got a hold of it?
Bystanders. This one seems persistent, but I can't afford to get distracted. Look at this cup.
Hey, Ruffles! I asked you a question, dang it! What happens next?
Well, we put all the information together and try to find connections. Right, sir? Detective!
Oh, don't be so hard on the poor guy. So, connections, you say. And, what next?
Well, I guess you'd say we connect the dots. Connect one piece of information to another. It's Mr. Edgeworth's forte. He's a logic master. I can view what information I have with LB and then connect them with Y. I should try it now. Just a quick press of LB and we'll be off down the path of logic. I like how, this isn't something that gets revealed until the second game. But basically every character in Ace Attorney has a superpower. And, Edgeworth's is basic logic. That's it. His superpower is A equals A and B equals B. Is it like Danganronpa superpowers level? No, it's basic common sense. Like, that's literally what he does. Alright, so the president was shot at, and there was security. Connect the dots. Despite the president's tight security, the perpetrators still managed to carry out their attack. Completely undetected by a contingent of highly trained bodyguards, no less. No mean feat. This would have taken some serious planning. In other words, the assassination attempt was almost certainly premeditated. Oh, that's the stuff, Mr. Edgeworth! The old logic never fails, huh? Indeed. All we need to do is find the right clues, then make the right connections between them. Make the wrong connections, however, and we'll only wind up further from the truth. Which means I must make well-reasoned connections if I intend to draw logical conclusions. Begin investigation! Let's get this investigation started. Time to examine anything that looks suspicious. Which is Phoenix's superpower? Basically lie detection. It's a new mechanic that they add in the second game. Oh god. I'm still a bit, like, in recovery mode from my cold, so I apologize if I do phlegmy sounds. To examine things, I simply need to walk up to them and press A. And if I wish to speak with the detective, I should use Y. What is the officer here taking pictures of, Detective? The wicked will be crushed beneath the righteous hammer of justice. Looks like he's reading off these papers here, Mr. Edgeworth. Pro speech tips number 3. Speak slowly and confidently to win your audience around. Hey, this is good stuff. Better get a shot of this one, too. Instead of focusing on that speech, how about you focus on your own work instead, officer? Have you found anything of note, officer? No, sir! Not a thing! No fingerprints, no footprints, nothing! That is to say, none that stand out, sir. Not after everybody touched and walked all over everything. Detective Gumshoe, did he sound pleased about having no evidence to catalog? I'll, speak to his commanding officer about it, sir. Salary review's coming up soon and all. Oh, somebody's not gonna be able to afford presents for their kids. No! I was as surprised as you, sir, but there's no mistaking it. It's the Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-O Tokyo. It's a popular TV show. Old, young, it doesn't matter. It truly has something for everyone. Beats me why they had a Steel Samurai balloon at a welcome party for a foreign president. It is a little odd. Although, now that I think about it, what better hero to represent our nation? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Alright, well... this thing is in the water. Oh, breaks your heart, don't it? It does. What villainy could have befallen him? Witnesses said he popped right about when the gun went off, which would strongly suggest that a bullet struck the balloon. Looks like we've got a case of cold-blooded samurai murder on our hands! This is sacrilege. Won't rest until the culprit has been apprehended. Detective, we cannot let this vile assassin escape. We won't, sir. You can count on it. He's such a fucking loser. It's the flag of Zhangfa. The key motif is a blazing red phoenix. Wait, what's this? Something the matter, sir? You don't see it, Detective? There's something unusual about this flag. Compare it to the one on the other side of the stage, if you will. Oh, that's a beauty right there! Just look at it flapping in the wind! It's immaculate! Exactly, which is how a flag should look. And yet, here we see quite a different picture. One thing in particular stands out, don't you think? Right, of course. Is it, I give up! Come on, spill the beans! You can lead a horse to water. I'll just have to move the cursor to the problematic spot and highlight the difference with Y. There's a bullet hole!
Take that!
Look closely. Do you see the hole? Whoa, look at that! You're right, sir! And note the burn marks around the edge. That's a bullet hole. There's no mistaking it. A bullet hole? So you're saying a bullet went through this flag? Yeah. I think I've gathered enough information for the moment. Time to put the pieces together and see what we can figure out. Alright, time to do some basic logic! Alright, so... balloon was popped. And there's a flag with a bullet hole, so one would stand to reason that a bullet went through the flag and popped the balloon. There is a bullet hole in the flag, and it seems highly likely the balloon was popped by a bullet too. Which means 2 shots were fired, right, sir? Possibly even 3. The president was shot at as well, remember? Equally, the hole in the flag and the hole in the balloon could have been made by the same bullet. What we need to know is how many gunshots there were. Damn, that was easy. What did Dog do? Thank you so much for the sub. And, thank you so much for the 18 months.
Happy New Year, Ben. 1.5 year. Can you believe it? Me neither.
I can't believe it. Also, thank you to Cheshi for subscribing. Welcome. Summer de Nieve, thank you so much for the 8 months. And, yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Ruffles! Ruffles! Oh my god, this chick is just...
Y'all figured something out, huh? Care to share?
Who exactly is she? And why does she keep shouting at us? Rubbernecker, I guess. Seems pretty interested in the case.
Come on, give me something here.
We do need to speak with some witnesses to find out how many gunshots there were. Fine, let's see if she can tell us anything.
There y'all are. Tabby Lloyd, at your service. Really?
Like tabloid?
I'm looking into the case for, well, just for me right now, but...
Looking into the case. Miss Lloyd, was it? Miss Lloyd, there's something I'd like to...
Well, what can you tell me? Any exclusive details you want to share? How about the perp? Have they made any demands? What about their ruffles? Where does a fella buy a cravat like that?
Hold it!
Will you be quiet for a moment? I'll be asking the questions here.
Dang. Here I thought I could get me something juicy for my piece.
I need to know about the shooting. Can you tell me how many gunshots you heard?
Why, I most certainly cannot!
I beg your pardon?
I can't just be handing out leads for free. That stuff's my livelihood.
Aw, come on, don't hold that on us. We all gotta share sometimes.
Me? Hold out on you? Well, if y'all are gonna be like that, I'll be moving right along. Goodbye.
Wait!
Wait for what exactly, huh? Huh? If you got nothing for me, I'm gone.
Fresh out of moves here. Out of moves, I wouldn't be so sure. But what do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? As you know, Detective, I like to play a little chess. And what does one do in chess when an opponent... adopts a defensive position? Why, the board offers any number of options, but some are more effective than others. Sorry, sir, but this is all going way over my head. No matter how impenetrable an opponent's defense may seem, it can always be overcome. Watch and learn, Detective, as I shatter my opponent's resolve with the power of words. When attempting to draw out an entrenched opponent, one must employ certain tactics. Let us picture the board, and see if we can anticipate our adversary's next move. Oh, yeah! Now, we must analyze the state of play.
Y'all ain't getting nothing out of me, not until you give me something in return.
My opponent has dug herself deep. Her defenses won't be easily broken. But I can't afford to try her patience by taking too long to plot my next move. In other words, I must be conscious not just of my strategy, but also the passing of time. That said, I can't afford to waste words either. In fact, it can pay dividends not to. If my opponent gets too agitated...
If you're fixing to ask me something, will you danged well ask it already?
I may be able to gain a tactical advantage by calmly biding my time. Then, when I see a crack in my opponent's armor, I pounce. I should begin by finding out what it is she does. Alright, time to make my opening gambit. Mind chess! What is it that you do? Why don't you begin by telling me about what it is that you do?
Sure, or I could totally not do that. Think I don't know when to keep my mouth shut? That's my job.
Is it now? So you do something you won't or can't tell anybody about?
Shut up! I know lawbreaker if that's what you're insinuating.
Bide my time.
I'm a law-abiding, everyday citizen. You got no reason to say otherwise.
Forgive me, I meant nothing by it. If it's something you can't tell me about, I imagine it must be very important work indeed.
Huh? Well, sure, I guess. Leastways, it will be once I bag my first big scoop.
I see. It's a scoop you're after. So you're a journalist, is that correct?
Dang! Sure. I'm your friendly neighborhood reporter. The hungriest cub on the beat.
I got a message on my phone. Just in time. That's the mystery of what she does for a living solved. Good job, Miles. You figured out somebody that kept wanting to interview you with a microphone and recording equipment and talking about scoops and stories is a reporter. Good job. Very smart boy. Perhaps our hungry young cub has gathered information vital to the case. Let's make that our next line of inquiry. With the opening moves concluded, the mid-game approaches. What else does she have to tell us? Were you at the scene of the crime? Where's the record? At the time of the incident, were you present at the scene of the crime?
Come on now, Ruffles. You ain't gonna give little old Tabby something first?
Absolutely not.
Then I ain't giving you nothing neither. You think I'm a sucker? Think again.
Hand it over, you're under arrest. No, bye my time.
Come on, this is my career we're talking about. Here, you gotta give me something.
Sadly, the more you know, the more you might find yourself in danger.
I ain't scared. I'm a pro. It takes more than the sound of a little gunfire to faze me.
You had gunfire, did you? You may be a pro, as you put it, but I'd say you're still a little wet behind the ears. You say you heard gunfire, which proves you were here at the time of the crime. Therefore, you must have seen something.
Double dang. Fine, I was here. I saw it. Came to report on the big speech. Wound up reporting on a shooting. And you won't get no more out of me than that. I'm done with your tricks, Ruffles.
If she came to report on the event, she must have made a record of some kind. A record I would very much like to get my hands on. It's quite the clue as to where to take the conversation next. Let's ask her about that. No. You're a reporter, which means you must have been making a record of some kind.
You got more questions? You gotta give me something first. That's the deal.
I am not in the habit of making deals. Now tell me what I need to know.
Sorry, Ruffles. Can't help you.
Time to deploy my clue. No self-respecting reporter would leave the house without a means of putting things on the record. So tell me, Miss Lloyd, where is yours?
Can you guess how she records? Can you guess? Of course I made a record. I told you I'm a pro. Dang near wore my shoes out running around on this one. Which is why I'm not about to just hand it over to the first person who asks me.
I'm not just anyone, young lady. I am the prosecutor in charge of this case.
Don't you young lady me. You ain't getting it, no matter how many times you ask.
I'll young lady you as many times as I like now.
You understand, don't you, Ruffles? It ain't nothing personal.
I understand that your job is a difficult one. You do?
Well, ain't that sweet.
And in such a competitive field, you must sometimes doubt that you'll ever succeed.
Nah, I'll go plenty far. I'm sure of it. Yeah. Just as long as I got my trusty tape recorder, I'll always be ready to nab me a scoop.
Play me that tape. Intriguing. A young reporter hungry for success. So dedicated to her craft that to leave such an important event unrecorded would be unthinkable. And indeed, she did not. She committed the entire event to tape. Get shit on.
Aw, dang it! This is my scoop you're messing with! My big break! Fine, sure. I recorded the whole darn thing. It's all right here. You got me, okay?
Checkmate. Get shit on! Get shit on! Already this game is a huge improvement over the first one. Like, the first game just had, like, interrogations that weren't as interesting as this.
You're something else, Ruffles. I was trying to be all strong and silent, but you had me singing like a canary.
Never mind that. Now play us the tape. You should finally tell us how many shots were fired.
Fine, you can hear it, but I got conditions. You played me like a fiddle, Ruffles. Only the Chief ever played me so good. So you gotta agree to be Chief number 2 and be mentor to a rising star, aka me.
Chief number 2, huh? Kinda like a second parent? That's a big responsibility, sir.
And one more thing. I want exclusive reporting rights for the first 24 hours. come on, you gotta say yes. What kind of mentor wouldn't give a star pupil the exclusive, huh?
She's a difficult woman to refuse. I need to hear that recording. 24 hours is more than I can promise, but the story's yours until the case is solved.
And the job of Chief Number 2?
I think not.
Gah! You're no fun. But I guess a girl can't have everything. All for the sake of the scoop, huh? Alright, you got yourself a deal. I got exclusive access starting right this second, Ruffles.
Good. Then our first order of business is to listen to that tape.
Rrrkashak!
Honored friends and allies, I am here today to deliver a message. The odious criminals that dogged my beloved nation are no more. The president's speech.
Rrrkashak! The president passionately addresses the assembled crowd, as if trying to shake off the reports of his declining popularity by sheer force of will. That there's me! Can't beat a little live commentary to set the scene. Oh, right.
The meeting is scheduled for just after the speech, correct? He seems pretty pleased to be able to put the whole Yatagarasu situation behind him. So, Yatagarasu is a thief group that was mentioned in the first game. They're phantom thieves. As well he should be. This is a great day for all of us. Whose voices are these?
Oh, there were these two old guys standing right in front of me. They were whispering away to each other the whole darn time.
I know their voices from somewhere.
Wait, the part where the gun goes off is right after this. The president thrusts his fist into the air as the excitement reaches fever pitch.
The battle against evil rages on. Here, today, I make you this solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice. 1 gunshot. Ah, ah, ah. 2 gunshot. Ah, ah, ah.
What the? Ah!
Miss Lloyd's tape jotted down in my organizer. So, 2 shots were fired.
Yep, and that tells us something?
Ooh, something very important indeed. It allows us to deduce the trajectory of one of our bullets. Of the 2 shots fired, 1 hit the president, which means the other must have passed through both the flag and the balloon in that order. Which, as you can see, allows us to deduce the position of our shooter. The only possible place from which a bullet could have been fired through the flag and into the balloon is right here.
Take that!
Here. Yes, there's no doubt about it. Oh, wait. Oh, was I a pixel off? Am I gonna be pixel hunting in this game again? I'm not gonna voice when I fail. One moment, yes,
It's alright, Ruffles. We all make mistakes.
I picked the wrong spot. 2 bullets were fired, we know that for a fact. If we draw a straight line across the path of each bullet, our 2 lines should converge on a single point. The point where our culprit was standing. But this is where the paths converge. Unless it's over here. I'm like bringing out a ruler for this.
Take that!
Is this seriously? Are you kidding me? You just had a little too high earlier? Mods, time out that person! Unless they're wrong, then never mind. Don't tell me it's over here.
Take that!
Drawing a line between the flag and the balloon gives us the trajectory of one of our bullets. I was right, but also no. And places our shooter on the left-hand side of the spectator arena. You're a genius, Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe, I'll need to examine the left side of the spectator area. Roger that, sir. So you need me to clear all those people out of the way, I guess. I do, and what evidence remains to be found may already be deteriorating. So I'll need you to be quick about it. Yes, sir!
Chief! Hey, I'm talking to you, Chief!
I suppose you mean me, Miss Lloyd.
I surely do! You gotta let me help out. This stuff's my forte. I'm the best crowd herder you ever did see. I'll prod, pummel, and push him wherever you like.
A very kind offer, but I think a less hands-on approach might be preferable. Also about this chief business, I am nobody's chief.
Whatever you say, Chief, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Your wish is my command.
I somehow doubt that. Yeah, Rice from the Ashes is peak. It's a good case. Don't talk shit about that case. You go, sir. It's all ready for you. Is that fucking Winston Payne standing over there? Miss Lloyd here should have cleared everybody out. Miss Lloyd here cleared everybody out just like that. You should have seen it.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing. The chief, my other chief, that is. She sends them running twice as quick.
She sounds like quite a formidable character. Perhaps I should go easier on the poor girl. Thank you, but you really shouldn't have. All that running around. Your clothes are covered in mud. Allow me to pay for the cleaning. It's the least I can do.
Huh? You mean my jacket? Oh, don't be worrying about your pretty little head about that. It's reversible. All you gotta do is switch it around and alakazam, no more dirt.
On the outside, perhaps, but you'd still have something of a problem with the inside. Hey, no need to bully people for not playing games. But yes, he's from the first game. We're ready to get back to the investigation whenever you are, sir. The crowd has trampled the entire area. We'll be lucky to find any traces of our shooter at all. I was joking we were friends. Jokes are usually funny. Well, this is quite the situation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Who is he again?
It's Payne, Mr. Edgeworth. Winston Payne. We work together at the prosecutor's office.
He's a prosecutor? What brings you here today, Mr. Payne?
What indeed? Why, only the invitation of the chief prosecutor himself.
His voice. I recognize it from the tape recording. Was he one of the men who was standing in front of Miss Lloyd? And where is the chief prosecutor?
He had to leave, I'm afraid. He's a busy man. They let him, and only him, out through the cordon.
So he had me summoned on short notice and then left before I even showed up? Rude. Thanks for that, Payne. I like this little sign. This wooden sign looks almost brand new. I imagine it was placed here recently. What's it say? 50 yards to the Gordy Museum. And 70 yards to the... never mind. Oh wait, that was Gumshoe saying that. What's it say? 50 yards to the Gordy... never mind. What's the matter, detective? Just read it, will you? 70 yards to the boathouse. Feels like a million years since that whole sorry affair unfolded. That's a Phoenix Wright 1 reference. Fond memories, detective. Yeah, fond memories, sir. Cameraman, did you see anything? You're with one of the news channels? Yep. Can I help you? You must have footage of the event. Do you mind if I take a look? I wish I could help you, but that might be a little tricky. And why's that, huh, pal? You got a problem with doing your civic duty or something? No, it's just that my camera was knocked over in all the panic. And now I can't get it to work. Footage would have helped immensely.
Just our luck. Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! What the? You look like you need a little help, Mr. Edgeworth. I knew that voice. Oh, it's the thief girl from the first game. She's here now. Kay. She really did. Oh, you're going. Okay. Honestly, I'll leave you alone for 2 seconds. But don't worry, your hero's here to save the day. That's right. The one, the only Kay Faraday. Hero. Only you would give yourself a little title like that. So you're not a great thief anymore? Not right now, but it's not like I quit. I'm just on sabbatical. I'm taking time out for some intensive training. Being the second Yatagarasu doesn't come easy. Kay helped me out on a few occasions about 2 weeks ago when I was working a case. The case of the Yatagarasu, a mysterious thief who seemed to appear and disappear at will, and who claimed only to steal the truth. She calls herself the second Yatagarasu, the successor to the so-called Great Thief. Yeah, she's... What you just see, like... This right here is just the entire first game. That's it. There's not a lock I can't open or a trap I can't escape. And when it comes to stealing, well, I'm still in training, but I'll get there soon enough. What are you doing here, Kay? What do you think I'm doing? I've been enjoying the festivities, of course. I suppose she did mention being fond of such things. And afterwards, I was thinking of dropping by your office to see you guys, but now I don't have to. Good to see you, kiddo. You're as bright and breezy as ever. Hey, Gummy, how you been? You're looking pretty full of beans yourself. So, Kay, are you really here to save the day? Yep, Pete. Prepare for your jaw to hit the floor. Your best pal in the world here only went and took pictures of the whole shebang. Did you now? Then you'd better show them to me. Wow, your jaw didn't even drop an inch. What's a girl gotta do to impress you, huh? I know, right? Mr. Prosecutor's here is about as much fun as a dang toothache. Won't even let me call him Chief. Ah, but I'm forgetting my manners. Tabby Lloyd, ace reporter, at your service. Nice to meet you, Tabby. You're right, he's no fun at all. This one time You two can chat later. Okay, can I see those pictures? Boo, fine. Here. Oh. I took this one right when the gun went off. Is that the second that the bullet hit him in the head? That's fucked up if true. It was total chaos. People running everywhere. The president and his 2 bodyguards. What's that? Thank you, indeed, Kay. I think you've provided us with a vital clue. Hoo-wee! Your eyes just lit up like a pair of dang Christmas trees! Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, care to tell the readers what you've spotted? A contradiction. Huh? A what now? I don't see nothing strange. Allow me to show you. This picture shows the moment of the incident. Another piece of evidence shows something different. I need to highlight the point of contradiction, and then employ my powers of deduction. First, to find the contradiction in the photograph. Yes, this is it. Simply press Y to make my deduction. Now to present the evidence that proves the contradiction. My prosecutor's badge. Look closely at the picture of the president in this newspaper clipping, if you would, Miss Lloyd. Now, look at Kay's photograph. Compare the two carefully. Huh? What am I looking for here? Well, I'll be! Indeed, there's something on the president's forehead. Something that wasn't there in the other picture. What is that? Some kind of birthmark? Yeah, guy's got a big red birthmark. Right in the middle of his forehead.
I highly doubt a birthmark just sprang up there since the other picture was taken. Did he get beaten by... beaten. Did he get bitten by a bug then, maybe?
Yeah, that's it. And that right there's a big old bug bite. Here I thought it was something important. Look on your face.
You should know that the road to the truth is paved with just seemingly trivial details.
Ooh, again with the face. All right. Duly noted, Chief.
Kay's photograph has been organizing. All right. Well.
Trash can.
Honkai Star Rail reference.
You even gotta pick through the trash yourself? Prosecutor's life ain't easy, huh?
Detective Gumshoe.
Right away, sir. The faithful detective scrabbles through the garbage as the prosecutor looks on, his hands unblemished.
Let's see now. Come to Papa, little treasures. Is he enjoying himself? Bingo! A popsicle stick! Gotta love the jokes they put on these. Detective. Sorry, sir. Irrelevant evidence. Irrelevant evidence. Huh? I think we got something. Good work, detective. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Pipe! By examining a piece of evidence from all angles, we can uncover hidden details.
Oh, we sure can. Just tell me which way you want it, sir.
You can rotate the item with RS. If you want, I can move it closer or further away, too. I can use LB to examine an object up close, and RB to move it out of the way for the bigger picture.
And when you spot something, just say the word.
You can point out suspicious areas with a cursor, and press A to inspect them more closely. All right, let's see what we can discover. Wow! 3D! I will examine the pipe. Wait a minute, that's not a pipe, that's a gun. This is a document of some kind. Lead Rook, second Knight. Less cover for Lakeside now, eyes on this area, Rook repositioned in light of Knight's injury. Knight to immediately escort President to the plane in case of emergency. Stay frosty, we know who might be in the audience. This is a document of some kind. What are we looking at here? Presidential security plan? It's a diagram of the president's security arrangements. It shows how the president's bodyguards were positioned. It even has his people's names on it. Rook and Knight. They must be the two from the photo. So his bodyguards aren't natives of Zhengfa.
I heard he uses some private security firm.
But why not employ people from his own country?
I know why not. Y'all want to hear a little tabloid exclusive?
You really know something?
Sure I do. I was over at their embassy not so long back, sniffing out a story. While I'm there, one of my sources tells me that the president's got more enemies than you've got hairs on your head, including a bunch of bigwigs in the National Police Force.
Interesting. So he's unable to trust his own domestic law enforcement. I wonder if one of these enemies could have been behind the attempt on his life. Security plan. All right, later, Abigail. Thank you for stopping by. What was it doing dumped there in that bag? You raise an interesting point. It's a document relating to a matter of national security. It would surely be highly classified. Shit, I can't read. Huh? Hey, there's something else in here. A fucking gun! What? My. What's a gun doing in there? Sir, this bag, it's gotta belong to the... Yes, could well have been disposed of by a would-be assassin. A revolver. We've taken a lot of nerve to dump it here amid all the chaos. Could this be the work of a professional? That would explain the security plan, too. I think we need to take a very close look at our latest find. I'm spinning the revolver, chat. According to my logic, this is a gun. Let's see how many shots were fired. 2 spent bullets in the cylinder, matching the 2 gunshots heard on the recording. That proves it! This must be the weapon that was used! What about the grip? This part is called the grip. I've held a few guns in my time, though they've never felt quite right in my hand. This one is no exception. This is a laser sight. It can be lined up with the target to make aiming a bit easier. If I press this here... Yep, definitely a red laser. Could the assassin have used a laser sight to target the president? Why does this remind me of something? I think it's time to go over the information we've collected so far. That bag was a real find, huh? Just goes to show, a bag in the hand is worth 2 in the trash. Nice work, Detective. Now, there's something else I'd like to ask of you, if you don't mind. I need you to take the bag and the gun to forensics and see if they can find any prints. On it, sir! A good set of fingerprints could really help this investigation along. Got the results for you, sir! Jesus Christ, that was fast. That was quick. You bet it was. Told the techs it was ultra super high priority. But, they came up empty. And they checked everywhere? Inside and outside, top to bottom, sir. They even took the bullets out of the gun and dusted them. I should have known it wouldn't be that easy. Forensics was just like, yeah, we ain't got shit. Sorry, we ain't got shit. Alright, time for basic children's logic. Red birthmark is actually a laser sight. I have solved the mystery of the red birthmark. He's so proud of himself. Really? So it wasn't a bug bite? No. What we're dealing with isn't something that would itch for a day and then disappear. Well, I think it would itch a little bit, but very quickly, and then everything would disappear. It is in fact the beam of a laser sight. And our killer was aiming to shoot the president square in the forehead? And shortly after this picture was taken, a second shot rang out. Yeah, that's gonna do more than itch. Indeed. I fear the president may be in even more danger than we thought. And that the gun we found was the weapon used in the crime. Why would the perp use a laser sight, though? He's right. He'd stand out like crazy using something like that. Pew pew pew! It's not like you can just go around shooting lasers all over the place. No, and anyone who saw it could trace it right back to the shooter. Seems like a pretty bad idea all around. Oh, I almost forgot! I took a couple more pictures. Maybe the laser sight's in one of them. It's a long shot, but it's worth a look at least. Alright, Kay, let's see these other pictures. Yes, sir! Right away, sir! Let's see. First up, here's one I took just before everything started going south. You really took a selfie? It might be more useful to us if half the frame wasn't taken up with your face. Hey, can you blame me for wanting to get a selfie with the president? Lucky for you, this was right before the gun went off. And this one I showed you before from just after the first shot was fired. The second shot came just seconds after this. Then there's... ass. What's this? I can hardly see anything. I got knocked over when everyone started running right after that last picture. I found the assassin. Or at least half of an assassin. Just the ass. Guess I must have pressed the shutter by accident. Not sure this one's gonna be much use, kid. And that's all of them. Time to take a closer look. Let's examine the picture from... I already see the, Is there any hint of the laser sight here in the picture? Yeah, it's right here.
Take that!
Winston Payne almost got shot in the fucking back.
There, I see it. What is it, sir? Look closely at the person with the red hood. Whoa, there it is! Indeed. That's our laser sight right there. So that's our perp! The one in the red hood must be... the shooter, yes. We found them! And it's all thanks to yours truly. Indeed. You led us right to the greatest treasure of them all, Miss Great Thief. The truth. Hee. You may have captured our would-be assassin in one of your other pictures, too. Let's take another look. Our red-hooded suspect could be in another of these photographs from after the shooting. There he is! Is the person with the red hood here somewhere?
Take that!
Look, right there! A red jacket. That must be our suspect. Looks like they took advantage of the confusion to make their getaway. Luckily, we can see exactly where they were headed. The samurai dog stand! Precisely. Which means they escaped towards the right-hand side of the spectator area. Detective Gumshoe. On it, sir! Consider it cleared. Good. I'm counting on you. There he goes. That's right, samurai dog. Oh. We have you now, my little Red Riding Hood. The entire park is cordoned off, and we know which way you went. Now it's simply a matter of hunting you down. He's being so dramatic. Now, let us continue our investigation. There's evidence here somewhere. All we have to do is find it. Umbrella. Shoe. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, it's talking to Kay. I will talk to Kay just so we get lore about her, because she's actually a fun character. Did you like my big entrance? Bet I really am your hero now, huh? Well, your evidence helped things along, certainly. Hey, I'm the second Yatagarasu, remember? All in a day's work. Kinda wish I could have showed you how far I've really come with the whole Great Thief thing, though. The training you mentioned? About that. Don't worry, I haven't stolen anything yet. I promise. Great Thief. So the whole Great Thief thing is just on hold. For now, anyway. That's a relief, I suppose. Yeah, I wanted to get out there and start stealing back the truth, just like my dad. But I've still got a ways to go with my training, and I need to find some partners in crime. I hope she means that figuratively. I can't be the only girl in the world looking to pull off the most daring heists ever attempted. True, but not many people are looking to pull off a career in larceny either, Red Wager. Kohiru, thank you so much for the 13 months. Thank you, thank you. About the incident. Yep, no doubt about it. If you compare the pic I took to the newspaper clipping, the red birthmark stands out like a sore thumb. That's a contradiction, all right. Indeed, though I very much doubt it's due to a birthmark suddenly appearing. Oh, that reminds me, I might have to steal that line of yours. The road to the truth is paved with seemingly trivial thefts. Funny, I don't remember that being the exact sequence of words I used. Why just rob a house when you can rearrange the furniture, too? You may call it rearranging, but I call it irretrievably corrupting. Alright, well, I guess the shoe is irrelevant. I guess this hat is irrelevant, too. The banner advertising the rifle range has fallen over. It must have been knocked down in the crush. It's covered in footprints, too. The crowd must have really panicked. Hey, I know where I can buy one of these? Why would you wish to? Don't tell me you're thinking of writing Gumshoe on it and wearing it on your back. What? How'd you guess? Are you a mind reader, sir? Is that it? It was a joke. I should have known that nothing's impossible when it comes to the good detective. Why is Gumshoe so dumb? I feel like they've made him dumber over the games. There are toy rifles lined up along the counter. Oh, a rifle range! I'm good at these, sir. A regular sharpshooter. I thought you said you hated guns. Oh, I don't hate them. I just don't really like them. Isn't that basically the same thing? Let's get some hot dogs! I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Red button! What's this? A red button? Hey, do you think... Could it have been dropped by our red-hooded suspect? Yes, it certainly seems likely. Oh! What's this? There's something red down there. Detective Gumshoe, can you see what is under the stand, please? There's something down here, all right. Let's see. A red raincoat! This must be... the one the suspect was wearing! They must have taken it off and hidden it under there before they made their escape. Well, shit, now we don't know what the fuck this guy looks like. Or girl. Or non-binary person. It could be anybody. The sleeve. It's inside out. The button is missing too. Wait! You know who else wears their clothes inside out? It's gotta be Tabby. It's a flimsy-looking food stand made of plywood, and it sells samurai dogs. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I've got $1.50 if, you know... You're not actually suggesting I subsidize you eating on the job? Oh, I didn't mean to. That is, maybe when we're done? Fine. When we have finished investigating, you can have one. And only one. Understand? Understood? Sorry, sir. I never should have... Wait, did you say I could have one? Yes. Why? Is something the matter? No, it's just... I wasn't expecting you to... thanks, sir. Gumshoe can have one hot dog as a treat. It says samurai dogs, now with sakura relish. Just in time for spring. Sakura, huh? What does that taste like? Well, sakura is cherry blossom, so I guess maybe cherries? But blossoms are blossoms and cherries are cherries, sir! They're totally different things! But you're right, I suppose. So what does sakura really taste like? This is my kind of mystery! Guys, I fucking love these games so much. Good games. There's nothing unusual about the left sleeve. Nope, it's not inside out and the button's still attached. It seems entirely too neat to have been removed in a hurry and thrown on the ground. What size is the jacket? Maybe we can figure out who the murderer is by the size. But also, yeah, $1.50 for a hot dog, man. Pre-inflation lifestyle, huh? It doesn't look like there's anything else here, but Miles hasn't said that there's nothing else here, so maybe there is something else. Yeah, it's already got a check mark. Let's see if we can do more children's logic. Red button. Sleeve. Red button on sleeve. Costco prices, yeah. The button... Guys, there's a Capcom sale happening right now on Steam if you want to buy these games. Like, go buy the Ace Attorney trilogy. The Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. Go do it now. The button we found seems to have come from this raincoat. It must have been pulled loose when the killer took it off. Huh. The right sleeve's inside out, too. It seems it was removed in a hurry. Fast enough to tear off a button off, no less. I surmise our assassin disposed of their gun and bag in the trash immediately after shooting at the president. Then they slipped into the panicked crowd and moved from the left to the right side of the spectator area. This was because they knew the trajectory of the bullet would point to a shooter on the left side. Finally, they removed the raincoat and hid it under the samurai dog stand. The killer would have needed to get rid of the coat as soon as possible, hence its hurried removal. The fact that the right sleeve is inside out is a testament to how quickly it was taken off. Yup, that and the missing button. The question is, of course, why didn't the same thing happen to the left sleeve? Oh yeah! Only the right sleeve is inside out. Indeed, and the button on the left sleeve is still securely attached. So, what does this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? If we're to answer that question, Detective, we'll need to inspect the raincoat in more detail. Wow, 3D raincoat! What size is it? Let's take a closer look at the inside of the raincoat. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Oh my god! There's red here! Somebody ate a delicious hot dog and got it in the inside of their coat! This is a blood stain. Considering where it's located, I'd say the blood belongs to a would-be assassin. So we're looking for someone with an injury? Not just any injury, Detective. An injury on their left arm. Huh? How do we know that? It's simple. The right sleeve is inside out, suggesting that the suspect removed the raincoat in a hurry. Conversely, the left sleeve is just as we would expect it to be. Therefore, the suspect's left arm was never in the sleeve in the first place. And once we understand that, everything else falls into place. Prismatic Amy, thank you so much for a whole year. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Detective, there is a bloodstain on the left side of lining of the raincoat because the suspect's arm was too injured to fit through the sleeve. Precisely. Or at least, we can say that there is a good probability that that was the case. The pieces are starting to fall into place. Like a chessboard! Chess, bitch! Detective Gumshoe, I need you to go and search the crowd for likely suspects. Yes, sir! Suspicious characters with injured left arms coming right up. You're even smarter than you look, Ruffles. Taking all them itty-bitty pieces and putting them together like that, you'll have your man in no time. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. The park is still cordoned off, so a would-be assassin should be in that crowd somewhere. Don't let me down, Detective Gumshoe. March 25th, 3:27 p.m. How much time have we spent on this investigation so far? How quickly did Edgeworth, like, figure this shit out? Mr. Edgeworth, we found someone who fits the bill perfectly, sir. Way to nab the assassin, Gummy. Hold on, Kay. It's a little soon to be jumping to conclusions. For the moment, they're a person of interest and nothing more. Understood? Okay, no jumping. But he's our shooter, sir, I'm sure of it. He's the guy who tried to take out the president. In broad daylight, surrounded by a crowd of witnesses, this is no ordinary assassin. Bring him over here, Detective. Carefully. Yes, sir! Come on, boys! You heard Mr. Edgeworth! Oh my god! It's him! This is a character from a previous game. His name is Shelly the Killer. No umbrella, and a bandage on his left arm. Well, pal, state your name already! Doe. John Doe. Charmed, I'm sure. John Doe? Not a name you often hear in real life. That's correct. I know this man from somewhere. I'm sure of it. And you are Prosecutor Edgeworth. You know my name? Of course. I have been following the day's developments with some interest. Now, perhaps you'd care to explain why you've asked to speak with me? As you've been following our investigation, you're no doubt already aware of who we're looking for. I lied. He's not actually Shelly the Killer. He's John Doe. Just a regular man, who you don't have to worry about. So let me ask you, do you recognize this raincoat by any chance? Forgive me, but I am afraid I do not. I see. Well, I believe its owner to be the would-be assassin we are seeking. My. Well, isn't that just shocking? And this same would-be assassin happens to have an injured left arm. Just like you. All I can tell you is that I had nothing to do with this unfortunate affair. The two adversaries stare each other down, their eyes like deadly lasers. Care to tell the readers what happens next? A showdown, that's what! A battle of wits! A battle of words!
Dare I let him explain any further what he thinks this upcoming battle will entail? I'm guessing this is a tutorial. Guys, do you want to hear Gumshoe give you a tutorial? Well, you guys can decide while I take a sip of water. No, nah. Detective Gumshoe, if you've quite finished leaking my professional strategies to the press.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Thanks a bunch, you big old grouch. As if it would have done any harm.
Doe's deposition. I can understand why whoever wore the raincoat would be of interest to you, but you have no proof that this person is injured as you claim. My left arm may be injured, but I can still use my right. When it started raining, I simply opened my umbrella. No raincoat required. So you contend that you were not wearing a raincoat, is that correct? It is. And is that so strange? Not everyone wears one, after all. I happen to prefer an umbrella.
Team Raincoat over here. They're perfect for when a girl really needs to move. Heck, I don't use neither. Come rain, sleet, or snow, or shine, it's my trusty parka every time.
Not exactly the line of inquiry I was hoping to pursue. So you see, I am not your would-be killer. And I'm not in the habit of making baseless accusations, Mr. Doe. Please, I am just a simple ice cream cell. Oh my. Forgive me. My wound seems to have begun bleeding again in all the excitement. The owner of the raincoat is definitely our assassin. And said owner also has an injured left arm. I'm on to you, Mr. Doe. It's only a matter of time. All right. Let me look over my evidence.
Hold it!
So you'd like to see some proof that the owner of the raincoat has an injury? I would certainly expect such a renowned prosecutor to have some. I still don't understand how you know who I am.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, you're famous. He's probably read about you in the newspaper.
I have also been observing you and your work, lest you forget. I don't believe a word he says. If I can prove he's lying, we'd be one step closer to apprehending our shooter. All right, so what do we got? I mean, I assume it's the jacket. That's the only piece of evidence that I have that directly contradicts what he's saying.
Objection!
Objection! Bitch! You seem like a carefree man, Mr. Doe. But not quite careful enough. Careful, excuse me, not carefree. Fuck. I can't read. After all, you left something behind, something of vital importance. I'm afraid you must have me confused with somebody else. The coat does not belong to me. Or do you claim to have some kind of proof to support your accusation? Your arm isn't troubling you too much, I hope. Your wound seems to be bleeding again. I'll survive. Although our camp is not something of an inconvenience. Waycamp voices Edgeworth in the anime dub of Phoenix Wright, but not the game. I don't know who voices him in the game. I know in this is using his old voice. He got a new voice actor for Dual Destinies on the 3DS. You have my deepest sympathies. Because if it wasn't bleeding quite so badly, you could have perhaps made a clean getaway. What exactly are you insinuating?
As we have already established, whoever wore the raincoat is injured. And now I can prove that person was you, with this decisive piece of evidence. You see, Mr. Doe, there is a small amount of blood on the inside of this raincoat. Blood that belongs to our assassin. I like how the ice cream's doing all the emoting for him. Attempted murder of a foreign leader? Causing a diplomatic incident? They'll throw the book at you! You can give us the silent treatment all you like, but we don't need you to talk. A simple blood test will give us the answer we require. All it takes is for us to compare the blood on your bandage with that on the coat, and that will be that. We have the evidence. Why don't you make it easier on all of us and come clean? Admit that you were the one who attempted to assassinate the president of Zhengfa! I am not your assassin. You're stubborn, I'll give you that. But if this were a game of chess, you would already be in checkmate. Now do the honorable thing and admit defeat. He doesn't look like a man with no moves left to play. Very well. You have me. I'll admit it. I was wearing the raincoat. He confessed! Say the word and I'll slap the cuffs on him right now! But I did not shoot at the president. What? Mr. Edgeworth, the only thing you have proven is that I was wearing a particular raincoat. And as far as I am aware, that is not a crime. I am no assassin. I am a simple ice cream seller. One who would happen to be wearing a red raincoat while watching the president speak. I was as surprised as anyone when his bodyguards sprang into action and the shots rang out. That's when the spectators panicked and started running and screaming for their lives. Now, are you finally satisfied that I am telling the truth? You can already tell my voice is starting to go. As if! Your story stinks! Oh, I'm deeply hurt by that, Kay. You don't scare me! The evidence is on our side, you know. Look, it's right there, plain as day. The assassin! And they're wearing a red raincoat. Intriguing. But that is not me. Come on! Night of Camelot, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, do you really think I was the only one in the entire park wearing a red raincoat today? I do, actually. But then why? Why does he seem so sure of himself? All right. I need more information, I think. So I'm gonna ask him about the shots. So you saw the bodyguards move before you heard the gunshots? Yes, if I recall correctly, they moved first. At least, the one on the left did. You're rather observant, Mr. Doe. I am blessed with keen eyes. The names of the bodyguards were written in the top left corner of the security plan. And the one on the left was Rook. That's correct. Bastion Rook, I believe. I expect he noticed the light from a laser sight. The man is no amateur. Mr. Doe knows a little too much about the business of being a bodyguard for my liking. I'd say our friend here is no amateur either. I'd like you to append what you just said to your testimony, if you don't mind. As you wish. The bodyguard on the left, Bastion Rook, was it? Was especially quick to respond.
Hold it!
So the bodyguard on the left was the first to move? By the smallest fraction, yes. He reacted admirably swiftly. His name was Bastion Rook, did you say? It appears you've assessed the situation quite astutely. No more so than anybody else, I'm sure. He's good. Didn't even flinch.
This is silly little ice cream. Alright, so. I want to look through Kay's photos again. It feels like they were there at the same time. I feel like that's the contradiction that I'm seeing. Let me play this out, though. I'm gonna keep pressing.
Hold it!
So you yourself didn't start running and screaming?
I was hardly in a position to.
Oh yeah? What position were you in?
One of extreme pain. Somebody bumped right into my wounded arm. Hard. It was excruciating. I thought my eyes would pop out of my head.
Yeah? Well, they clearly didn't.
Of course they didn't, Kay.
In any event, the shooter was wearing a red raincoat. We have photographic proof of that. And yet, Mr. John Doe here swears it wasn't him. The guy's lying through his teeth, I tell ya! No one gets away with disrespecting Mr. Edgeworth, pal! Not on my watch! Calm down, detective. We will get the truth out of him by catching him in a lie. Yeah, so let's keep at him. We'll let something slip soon enough. Maybe this one?
Hold it!
Why a raincoat? Why were you not using an umbrella?
Is that so strange? It was a rainy morning. Most people were wearing a jacket of some kind.
Well, I'd say it's a pretty strange choice, considering you couldn't get one of your arms into it.
Better than that than have one of my hands occupied by an umbrella. I had ice cream to serve, after all.
Then why go to such lengths to avoid testifying to that effect in the first place?
Forgive me. I simply hadn't remembered until now. It's been an eventful day, after all.
Eventful?
Well, I hardly know what else to call it, Mr. Edgeworth. The president of Zhengfa was shot at. I was as surprised as...
Yeah, were you?
So you saw the bodyguards move before you heard the gunshots? I'm absolutely certain of it.
Oh, I already saw this. Wait, I didn't. Interesting, considering that you wear a monocle.
Any self-respecting ice cream seller must be able to see at a glance if his wares are melting. We live to give people the delicious treats they deserve, and we do all we can in service of that goal.
He's clearly lying through his teeth, but there's no point trying to catch him in this particular lie. Let us return to the matter at hand. You say that you saw one bodyguard move before the other? Bodyguard on the left. I'm between presenting the plan or the photo. I'm gonna present the photo.
Objection!
That's wrong.
Very well, if you could give me a moment.
Don't you have anything to say?
Nothing whatsoever.
I guess that wasn't it. I'll have to listen more carefully to find a contradiction in his statements.
Objection!
Yeah. Because it's like... If the contradiction is that he shouldn't have known the guy's name, but, like, Edgeworth brought up his name, so it's like that's why he knows his name. But never mind. As I suspected, you are nothing more... You are more than what you claim to be, Mr. Doe.
You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, then tell me how a simple ice cream seller knows one of the presidential bodyguard's names. Disregard the fact that I brought it up earlier. What? You jest, surely. You were the one who spoke their names aloud. Rook and Knight, was it?
Objection!
We only know those names thanks to the security plan. But look closely. Only their surnames appear. Oh, that's it, right. Yet we all clearly heard you say the name Bastion, Rook. How did you come to possess such information? Information we ourselves didn't have. Seems pretty darn suspicious to me. Well, how did you know? Explain yourself. It was merely a slip of the tongue. Another lie! He is the assassin, just like we said! Come now, miss. It's a little soon to be jumping to such conclusions. I did know their names, yes. And the reason for that is... well, I know Mr. Rook. He and I are acquainted. What? We have something of a connection. And his is a name I could never forget. You think we're stupid, pal? Stop lying! I am not lying. As I have always been, a simple ice cream seller. And an acquaintance of Bastion Rook. Yes.
Objection!
And I suppose Mr. Rook will confirm that. It should be easy enough for him to remember his good friend, the slippery ice cream seller, correct? Please, you are more than welcome to ask him, although I think that might be difficult right now. I would imagine he's rather busy ensuring the president's safety. But suppose you are able to speak with him, and he does deny that he and I are acquainted. How will that help you prove I was the shooter?
Objection!
If you weren't the shooter, why take off your raincoat? Because it was no longer raining. In fact, it had grown quite warm. Far better to let my wound breathe, no? Or would you rather I had let it fester? Is he actually going to worm his way out of this? What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Hurry up and arrest the man! He's clearly guilty. If I were you, he'd be in jail already. You might be willing to arrest a man with sufficient proof, but I am not. No! Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, there's gotta be something you can do. Shocking scenes here as the culprit seems all but certain to escape justice. It seems the court of public opinion has spoken. Very well. As I will clearly be viewed with suspicion no matter what I say, I might as well share what I know. What you know? What's his angle here? I saw them. I saw another person with a red hood. Are you kidding? It's the person you captured in your photograph. I first noticed them just before the president's speech began. It was still raining then. Their outfit was the same color as my own, which is what drew my attention, as did the laser beam that was aimed directly at the president's head. He's claiming there was another red-hooded person. Preposterous! I knew that if anyone saw me dressed similarly to this individual, I could fall under suspicion myself. And so naturally, I removed my raincoat.
Objection!
So not only did you see the assassin, but they were wearing the exact same thing as you. How very convenient. I had thought you might find it far-fetched, hence my not mentioning it until now. I know you law enforcement people are very skeptical types. You would never have believed me. Especially not if I had said that the shooter was standing right next to a certain prosecutor. Well, I know you don't mean me. I wasn't even summoned until after the shooting. No, not you, Mr. Edgeworth. Your colleague over there. Huh? Me? Yes, the photograph will prove it, I am sure. You see, right there in front of the person with the red hood. That's me, yes, but what exactly are you saying? What's his endgame here? As I mentioned, I have been following your investigation with some interest, Mr. Edgeworth. And while pondering the details, I noticed something strange. Strange? What exactly? Come now. A man of your talent should be more than capable of spotting a contradiction such as this. I'm afraid I don't follow. The picture shows Chief Prosecutor Mr. Payne and the shooter. The Chief Prosecutor, Mr. Payne, and the shooter. But there's nothing weird about that, is there? Think carefully. The picture was taken right in the middle of the president's speech. One of the other pieces of evidence you've gathered is inconsistent with what we see here. What is Mr. Doe talking about? Which piece of evidence is inconsistent with what's in the picture? Let's see here. It has to be... What could it be? There's not enough of the jacket to see that it's been unbuttoned. I feel like maybe it's the security plan? What other photos are there? It's, probably not the newspaper clipping. Was the position of the shooter? No, that can't be. I feel like the red hooded person is in the same thing. It's not the revolver, is it? I'm gonna say the security plan. If I'm honest, I'm not entirely sure why, but I think the conflicting piece of evidence is this. Mr. Edgeworth, are you sure you really want to go around presenting stuff, even if you're not sure? I don't know if this is such a good idea, sir. Fine. Withdraw the evidence. I think it's a little too late for that, don't you? Whoa! It's never too late. Picture shows Mr. Payne, the chief prosecutor. Ah. All right. Can't be this. Can't be this. It's not this. It's not the revolver. I'm assuming it's not the revolver. I like how the bang bang is written as bang bang.
I mean, the only other piece of evidence that would point out what is happening in this photo is this.
Take that!
Of course! The tape. It contradicts the photograph.
Gamers.
Ah, so you have noticed at last. What's he going on about, Mr. Edgeworth? Someone's missing. Someone who should be here. Huh? But who? Who indeed? The person who is missing from this photograph is... Oh, Tabby must be missing.
Take that!
Huh? Miss Lloyd? You're the killer! How do you figure that? Mr. Payne's voice can clearly be heard on Miss Lloyd's tape. Considering that he was conducting a private conversation with the chief prosecutor. Oh, there were these two old guys standing right in front of me. They were whispering away to each other the whole darn time. She must have been very close indeed to capture it on tape. You're right, but she's not in the picture. Precisely. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you still believe that you have been hounding the right person? Miss Lloyd, would you mind answering a few questions? All right, sure. Knock yourselves out. I got nothing to hide. It ain't like I was standing still the whole time. Nah, I was running all over, roving reporter style, and that was a big old crowd. Guess the picture must have been taken while I was in one spot and the tape's from when I was in another. So quit giving me the evil eye. Ain't nothing but a misunderstanding. There's no doubt about the voices on the tape. I did totally call it, by the way. That was Mr. Payne and the chief prosecutor, I'm certain of it. Tabby wouldn't lie to us. I know she wouldn't. But if she did, that would mean that she's a perp. Will y'all quit messing with me? As if I could have done a thing like that. Little old me. I might be inclined to believe you if your testimony didn't contain a glaring inconsistency. Also, 2 people have had to be timed out already for spoiling, so one more and we're going into sub only. It does. It does? I thought it was pretty good. Seems I have no choice but to present her with the evidence and expose the contradiction. It ain't like I was standing still the whole... Okay. I was running all over.
Hold it!
You were running all over? Where exactly? Here, there, and everywhere, I guess. What, y'all don't know what all over means? You think I remember exactly where I was and when in a crowd like that? What do y'all want from me? I'd like you to at least tell us whether you were to the left or the right of the stage. Left? Yeah, left, I think. The suspect in the picture was on the left-hand side, too. Coincidence? Guess the picture must have been taken while I was in one spot, the tape's from when I was in another. Well, that can't be true. I need her to say exactly where she was when. So the fact that you are not in the picture is to be expected. Is that what you're trying to tell us? It surely is. I caught your pals, the prosecutors, on tape while I was in one part of the crowd. And then that picture was snapped while I was off someplace else. Look at it that way, and it all makes perfect sense. Your assertion, then, is that the picture and your recording were taken at different points in the speech. Yep, timing's everything. You'll learn that soon enough in this line of work. So if I can prove that the 2 things did happen at the same time, her entire defense will come tumbling down. Well, we have the photos. That was like the initial impetus of the conversation, so. Miss Lloyd, it's imperative for a reporter not to lie, wouldn't you say? You're damned right it is, and I don't lie! And yet, the photograph and the recording were definitely taken at the same time. What? You can't prove that! Oh, but I can. The evidence is right here in these pictures. This one in particular shows something that lines up precisely with when you were making your recording. What part of the picture indicates that it must have been taken at the same time as Miss Lloyd's recording? It's Winston Payne gossiping like the high school girl. Here, look closely. This is the answer to all. Oh, it's another magic pixel. Oops. That's legit it! It's Payne talking to the guy! Unless they want me to point at the president. I'll point at the back of his fucking head. Nope. I swear to God, if the game is doing this thing again where it's the right logic, but I'm pointing in the wrong place, I'm gonna have a gamer moment. Jeez. Alright. Is it the other dude?
Take that!
Nope. What if it's the if it is the president, I'm gonna uninstall this game.
Take that!
Alright. Thank you all for stopping by. Good stream. We had a lot of fun. We're gonna go. No, I'm just kidding. See here, the president has his fist raised. And what about it? Would you be so kind as to play us the tape again? Nah, see, it ain't that simple. What if I were to tell you that you don't have a choice? You don't make it easy, do you, Ruffles? Remember, we are concerned with the moment the president raised his fist. No criminal organization, no matter how big, is above the law. The president thrust his fist into the air as the excitement reaches fever. Oh, come on. I bet my assertion is gonna be like what I have to point out later. There! That's the moment right there! Correct. We've now confirmed when it occurred in the recording. Which means Tabby should be in the picture too. And she is. Right there for all to see. For Miss Lloyd is in fact the person with the red hood. What? So you're our shooter then, huh? Nah, I don't even own a jacket like that. That's right. From everything we know, the owner of the red raincoat is... neither of them. The jacket belongs to neither of them. It doesn't? Then who does it belong to, sir? You haven't even worked it out. Who else could it belong to, do you think? Beats me, sir. Who? Can I get back to you on that? My. Remind me how long you have been working as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth. I have to think back over everything Mr. Doe and Miss Lloyd have told me. Everything I've learned about the raincoat, too. Yeah, it is John Doe. I was just being silly. We've already proven that the raincoat belongs to Mr. Doe. You, Miss Lloyd, were wearing something else. Something that also happened to have a red hood. So there were two people with red hoods all along?
Indeed, Mr. Doe's last statement was true. Wait, but we only found one raincoat. Where's the other one? Our ice cream seller never mentioned a raincoat, only a red hood. So tell us about your jacket again, Miss Lloyd. Huh? This old thing? Well, the best thing about it is, like I said, if you get mud and such on it, it's reversible, see? So you just turn it inside out and... Eek. Just as I thought. The inside of her hood, it's red! That's right. And when the incident occurred, that's the side of the hood that was visible. What's going on here? What were you really up to, huh, pal? Wait, I never even wore it that way around. Perhaps if you would allow us to examine it, we could confirm that for ourselves. And y'all are gonna confirm that how exactly? It was raining right up until the president's speech, correct? That much has been established already. And as you yourself said, no one has accused Edgeworth for having a red coat yet. He wasn't here during the entire assassination attempt. He arrived afterwards. Heck, I don't use neither. Come rain, sleet, snow, or shine, it's my trusty parka every time. If you haven't reversed your parka since the rain, then the inside should be dry. Wait a second now. I got this big old backpack on, see? So I can't take off my jacket. Yeah. Maybe I could show y'all some other time? You think an excuse that weak is gonna wash with Mr. Edgeworth? Oh. Well, what are you waiting for? If you're innocent, take it off and show us. It wasn't me, I swear. I never shot the dang president. I could never. If that's true, Miss Lloyd, then your best option is to cooperate and tell us the truth. Is there a particular reason why you chose to wear a parka with a red hood here today? I'm sorry, Ruffles. There's something I never told you. Something I couldn't. But I'll come clean, I promise. Just go easy on me now, you hear? Wait, who just objectioned? Who just holded it? Who said that? Hold your horses. It's a little soon for the endgame. Oh. It's John Bodyguard. That goes for you too, Mr. Prosecutor. You lost this the moment you made your opening move. That's one of the men from Case Photograph. Guess I'd better introduce myself. Revolver Ocelot. Jeez, he's... Oh, yeah. The name's Bronco Knight. I'm the president's personal bodyguard. And second in command of his security detail. Eek! Put that thing somewhere else, pal! What the heck's wrong with you? Sorry, can't help myself. It's just too much fun being this good. I'm not a member of law enforcement, so how did you get a gun? This old girl's on loan from Zheng Fa, temporarily issued to us presidential bodyguards. Anyway, never mind that. I got 2 tidbits of news for you. You want the good or the bad first? Choice is yours. I'm indifferent, whichever you prefer. Really? You giving up the first move advantage just like that? Whatever, your loss. Guess I'll push out the first pawn then. So you play a little chess, I take it. Ah, a fellow fan, are you, Mr. Red Suit? The name's Edgeworth, and you could say I dabble. Duly noted, Mr. Edgeworth. All right, I'll start with the good news. The president's okay. Didn't suffer so much as a scratch. He didn't? That's a relief! Particularly for the young lady here. That means there is no longer a murder charge on the table. That is good news, huh, Tabby? Yeah, because I never... Now for the bad news. The only reason the president's alive is because we bodyguards did our job. One of us did anyhow. Our boss. Put himself in the line of fire. You're referring to your colleague, Mr. Rook? Yeah, it's game over for him. No way! Rook is dead. A genuine loss. So, You're saying that Tabby? Yeah, your friend here killed my colleague, my brother-in-arms. Oh, heck no! I didn't do it! I didn't kill anybody! I could never! I'd shut my mouth if I were you, murderer. Sure, we did what we had to do, sacrificed one of our pieces to protect the king. But to lose someone like him during a castling, it's a real shame. Castling? What's that even mean? It's a chess term. Very simplistically speaking, it's a move where a rook switches places with the king. Shit, sorry. Then why didn't you just say so? Mr. Knight, was it? Yeah, what? We'll need to see the victim's body right away. And if possible, I'd like to ask the president a few questions. Sorry, no can do. And why not? That's the third piece of news, and it's the piece you're gonna like the least. I thought you said there were only two. The National Police Force's Zheng Fa will be handling things from here. What? You better be kidding, pal! This investigation was assigned to us. We're not about to hand it over. You're the Edgeworth, right? The one who solved the Yatagarasu case? The president mentioned you. I'm honored to have warranted his attention. Makes sense that the chief prosecutor would assign this one to you. Wait, did the chief assign me to appease the president? But that was a mistake. A big one. He's like literally pointing a gun with his finger on the trigger straight at Edgeworth's chest. Jesus Christ. You should have given the case to somebody with a spine. You're free to take it up with President Wang. If you enjoy diplomatic incidents, that is. Ah! You're coming with me. We'll continue this on the presidential plane. No. No. I never did nothing, I swear. We can do this the hard way if you like, but in Zhengva, justice is served one way or the other. Ruffles, come on, you gotta help me out here, please! Miss Lloyd. She was the one in the red hood, and there's no denying that now. But I can't help feeling we still don't know the whole truth behind this case. I'm innocent! You gotta believe me! Can I really let this happen? Is this really how it ends? The look in her eyes, the crack in her voice as she begs me to help her. This is no act by a criminal. She's genuinely scared. And if I let him take her, we'll never know what really happened. Objection? Eek! What? Huh? What the? Get your filthy hands off of... Oh, shit! Quiet now. Is that really any way to greet me? Your neck has barely begun to heal, and you've already forgotten who I am. I'm disappointed. It's you! Ah, so you do remember. This is like one of the most intense first cases I've ever played. What do you think you're doing, pal? Put the knife down and give up! You've got some nerve pulling a stunt like this in front of a bunch of police officers. Don't even think about it. You don't stand a chance against this guy. Who are you really, Mr. Doe? Let's just say that I'm no simple ice cream seller. What the fuck? That's the opposite of what he said before. Give me orange. Guy's a pro, a hitman. His name's Shelly the Killer. Who could have predicted this? The Killer. There's not a legal professional in the country who doesn't know that name. An assassin capable of taking down any target, any place, any time. This isn't the first time our paths have crossed. It's been too long, Mr. Edgeworth. But of course, this is the first time we've met face to face. You're the assassin we've been looking for. In a sense, yes. A certain someone did indeed hire me to carry out a contract. And that contract did indeed specify that I was to assassinate President Wang. I swear I've seen his picture in one of my old files before, but... been so careless. My bandage proved useful for bringing a knife into the park undetected. But I miscalculated in certain other regards. You didn't bring a gun? Now, shall we play a little game, Mr. Knight? I know how fond you are of such diversions. The stakes must be high in order for it to be fun, of course. Shall we wager, say, your life? What do you want from me? I would like for you to allow Mr. Edgeworth to remain in charge of the case. You what? What are you up to, killer? I would simply like our mutual friend to see things through to their conclusion.
Huh? But why?
Bastion Rook was a man of great skill, one with whom I felt a certain connection. It is only right that the truth behind his death be brought to light. With Mr. Rook's departure, the case is now yours to investigate, is it not, Mr. Rook? Mr. Knight, excuse me. I'm simply asking you to transfer that authority to Mr. Edgeworth. It's not something worth losing your life over, surely.
You're just using the investigation as an excuse to get close to the president.
Am I really? I suppose it is true that in order for the investigation to proceed, you will need to enter the presidential plane.
You think I'm gonna let you near him? I'm his chief bodyguard!
Are you? And here I thought you were only second in command. Rook's not around.
That means I'm number one!
I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes.
You... Of course I do! I'm the leader now! Me!
If that is indeed the case, then I would ask that you make a choice worthy of a leader. Will you needlessly throw away your life, or will you allow the investigation to continue?
Is he really doing this to gain access to the president? Does he even need to? What is he plotting?
You have no objections, I trust, Mr. Edgeworth. Come, let us continue the investigation.
This game has to have happened after Ace Attorney 2, at the very least. What do we do, sir? It would seem we have little choice but to do as we're told. That said, listen, detective, and listen well. I'll buy us some time as I investigate. Meanwhile, you gather the other officers. Have them surround the plane, and make absolutely certain that there is no way he can escape. Yes, sir. You got it. Oh my god, it's a two-parter? Really? It's a two-parter, Jesus. What time is it? I need to make sure that I'm not going too far. Because I do have stuff to do. Okay, I can go for another hour, let's say. But I do need to get some more water, so I'm gonna be right back in just a second, guys. So let's take a quick 5, and we're just gonna chill. So be right back. Alright, I'm back. And again, reminder to everybody, please, no hints. No, like, if you have even if you have a theory to yourself, just smiley face. Just do a smiley face. Like, don't say anything that can be even construed as a hint. Because I'm telling the mods to shoot on sight. So, please, no hints. If it happens again, we're going in sub only, and if it happens again, then I'm not going to play this game on stream anymore. We're going to play something else. Because this is my first time playing it, and I don't want to have my experience ruined by chat. Anyway. With the death of Bastion Rook, and the revelation that Shelley the Killer was in our midst, the case had taken a turn we could have never predicted. Mr. Knight ordered that the door to the presidential plane be opened, and the emergency personnel attending to Mr. Rook's body were asked to leave. With the scene cleared, we stepped cautiously aboard. Jeez. March 25th, 4:15 p.m., Zhengfa presidential plane. No president in sight. Now, where could he be? Who knows? Ah, so he's hiding behind the bulkhead door over there, is he? As courageous in the face of danger as ever. Ha! Sorry to disappoint, but did you seriously expect him to be standing here waiting to meet his assassin? As we have already established, my interest lies only in the successful conclusion of this investigation. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would be so kind as to examine the body. All right. My only option right now is to play along. We should keep the warning pinned for those who come in later. What does it say up there, chat? What does it say up there? Up at the top. Do I need to make it red and flaming? I'm gonna make it red. There, it's bold and underlined. I don't know how much more I could give you. Make it bigger? Oh, I'm blind. Yeah, you know, business as usual. A lot of people in chat can't read. The rest is up to you, Detective Gumshoe. So the attempted assassination of the president has become the murder of a bodyguard. You look like you could use a little help though. You look like you could use a little help there, Mr. Edgeworth. Not that I need it, but yes. That's what I thought. Then there's nothing else for it. Kay Faraday, great thief extraordinaire, will just have to take it from here. Oh, really? You mean you're going to solve the case for me? Nope. I thought not. But I will provide vital assistance. Now let's get scouring this crime scene from top to bottom. It will take Detective Gumshoe a while to assemble our backup. So I'll need to draw this part of the investigation out for as long as possible. I'm just gonna stand here until Gumshoe is ready to go. That's all we're going to do. Hey, look at this. 2 gas masks. In case of a poison gas attack, I suppose. The president certainly seemed to think he's at risk of assassination at all times. Wow, gas masks? I've never seen one before. I've heard plenty about them, of course. Oh, from a fellow thief, I presume. No, from the Jammin' Ninja! You know, my favorite kids' TV show! Princess Murasaki was getting married, but Toxic Ninja Wolfsbane showed up to lay down some sick burns. And time to tune out. Might save myself a brain cell or two. Someone has left an inflatable boat and an oar here. Probably so it's ready to go at any time.
Wait, but there's only one oar!
You could still row with one oar, you know? Alright, let's look at this corpse. Died with a gun in his hand. The bullet seems to have entered just under his armpit and went clean through his body. He was hit in an area his bulletproof vest didn't cover.
Like it was on purpose or something, huh?
Cause of death would appear to be loss of blood. Attempts were made to staunch it, but to no avail.
The medics must have been brought in to try and save him.
Sadly, it was too little, too late. It's a bulletproof attaché case. Bodyguards use them to shield their clients from gunfire. There was some in-case photograph, too. Looks like Rook and Knight each had one.
Oh hey, that's the photo I snatched!
You can hardly steal a photo at a public event, Kay.
But I'm snatching up a moment in time with every picture I take, you know?
I take it snatch is your new favorite word.
Maybe.
So the victim was also carrying a revolver.
It looks like he was trying to use it.
He probably drew it on instinct when he felt threatened. We should check to see if he managed to fire any rounds off. All there, and no signs of the weapon having been used. Was this one on loan from Zhengfa too? Yep, sure was. We're always issued with the same model gun. Interesting. It's the victim, Mr. Bastion Rook, bodyguard to the president of Zhengfa.
He's one of the guys that brought the president inside as soon as the shooting started.
Which means he continued to do his duty right up to until his dying breath. At least he'll get posthumously promoted? Okay, it's better to know when to say nothing at all than to end up with your foot in your mouth.
What do you mean?
I mean, bodyguards don't even operate on the same rank promotion system as the police in the first place. Doesn't look like there's anything else we can investigate here. Already saw that. Two large rectangles cut in the floor here. I can see hinges through the gaps.
It's an emergency entrance disguised as an emergency exit. All the president would need to do is lower his rope ladder and make his miraculous escape.
Which would make it an exit, not an entrance. So which is it?
It's an exit, but it's used as an entrance, but disguised as an exit. Yeah! I think?
Congratulations. You've even confused yourself. That's quite the achievement. Kay's one of the best characters in the game. Good character. Funny. Alright. It's a bank of monitors displaying camera feeds from in and around the plane. I must scour the scene and inspect What the fuck is this? What on earth is this? That's a nicer way of putting it, Miles. Oh, it's the president's favorite plushie. It's a memento of something. Anyway, don't touch. But if that's the case, then why has it been left up there like nobody cares about it? Yeah, that is pretty weird. It certainly wouldn't be the first place I would think to display a beloved item. Wait, are those shards of glass underneath it? I thought something seemed strange about this cubbyhole, but now I'm sure of it. There was almost certainly another monitor here. This monitor is displaying a feed of this very room.
They didn't go cheap when they bought these, huh? Very high res.
Oh? I'm afraid I can't quite tell myself, but
I can even see the little crow's feet around your eyes.
Oh, my bad. They're just the usual deeply etched lines,
you know, on your forehead.
If you've quite finished. Blaine.
These monitors are displaying the cockpit and parts of the plane's exterior, but I don't see anything out of the ordinary. That one's showing static. That's the outside of the plane. Most intruders could not hope to approach without being spotted. But such measures would be mere child's play in my case. Whoa! You're saying you can get past cameras like these without being seen? Of course, with ease. You have to teach me how, please! Are you taking on apprentices by any chance? Kay, you do realize who you're talking to, don't you? Sorry. Had to ask, though. What a great skill for a great thief to know. Unfortunately for you, I am not the type to take on understudies. You're not, huh? Shame. Shame? In what way, exactly? Alright. That's enough of that. What the fuck are these? These personal safety alarms are very colorful. Looks like they get a lot of use as well. Oh, they're the type that, like, you give kids in Japan. This is a very Japanese thing. I like the president. He seems like a thoughtful guy. Buying these for his kids, maybe his wife too. Why would they all be here if that was the case? No, these are for his own personal use. Objection, Your Honor! It is simply not possible for one person to use this many personal alarms. Why, you ask? Because he is human, and therefore possesses only 2 hands. 20 hands wouldn't be enough to count the number of objections I have to that objection. That looks heavy. So this is what a president wears, huh? Must be made of something super special. Yes, to protect him from bullets. What? So it's not just for show? Of course not. This is a bulletproof vest. Oh, so that's what one of those looks like. Why didn't you just say so? Now I feel silly. Documents of some kind. You could always steal a glance. Another security plan. Oh yeah, like the one from the trash can. Precisely. But wait, something feels off. There's way more people on this one. Oh, the positions are switched. It's the same rough diagram of the stage area. Yeah, like the other security plan we found. The one from earlier, you mean? Something's different, I'm sure of it. What could it mean? Time to put my powers of deduction to work. I'm assuming it'll let me do this, right? The 2 plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point? Huh? Oh, you're right! Yeah, we made some last-minute changes yesterday. President's orders. Why the urgency? Because of what happened the day before. The killer here tried to take him down. He infiltrated the security detail, posed as one of us. Rook figured it out first, but not before the guy got within striking distance of the president. Holy shit! That's a metal fucking frame. If our leader hadn't stepped in just then, we'd all have been out of a job. But he made it. And our friend here wound up with a seriously twisted arm. Rook put a bullet in it for good measure, too. And where were you while this was happening? You were the first one I overpowered, were you not? Oh, that's embarrassing. Shut up, kid! Ah, now I get it. Your neck has barely begun to heal, and you've already forgotten who I am. I'm disappointed. It's you!
Busted up my neck so bad I can't even look to my right. I was somewhat astonished to have sustained an injury at all. A testament to Mr. Rook's skill. He was truly a master of his craft.
Moika, hey!
Unlike a certain other someone I could mention. I'm just as good as he ever was. You were a pawn to his queen, my young friend.
Wow.
What the heck do you know?
So that's why you remembered Mr. Rook's name. You admired his skills as a bodyguard.
Indeed. While I was serving on the team, I learned the names of all the operatives. But his in particular stayed with me. It joined the very short list of those who have ever successfully wounded me.
So that's the connection he was talking about. And nothing else. Could you imagine?
And that's why we changed up the security plan. Had to be sure there weren't any more assassins in the ranks. The president didn't want anybody on the stage he didn't trust, and he only trusts 2 people. Me and Rook.
How does that explain your change of position? Oh yeah, he switched over to the right-hand side.
I told you, I can't turn my neck to the right. Could only cover the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage.
Alright. What the fuck is this? Button? A curious figure of a curious animal with a curious expression is staring straight at me. And look! There's a big lever right by its butt!
Don't even think about it.
Oh, I wasn't thinking anything, I swear.
I imagine that lever opens the panels beneath my feet.
Ah, I see. So he's standing on a trapdoor.
I strongly advise you not pull it. Do so, and you will regret it.
You know, I'm okay with taking some advice, especially when it's from a professional killer. Nothing from the seat, nothing for the desk. A riot shield, and next to it a canary in a cage. Aw, she's so sweet! I want one! Did you ever see a cuter partner in crime? Partner in crime? Well, yeah, she could help me with lockpicking, stuff like that. Great thief has no greater ally than nature, Mr. Edgeworth. Sadly, such birds are most commonly used for detecting poisonous gases. Wait, this one isn't actually for that. This one isn't actually for that, is it? Alright, let's see if we can put some pieces together. Or maybe I should interview people first. Or check this. The president is on the other side of this door. What a door it is! Bet I could get the better of it, though. Get the better of it? Doors aren't there to be beaten. But look how heavy it is! Look at that lock! It's just sitting there begging me to try it. Calm down, Kay, and think. Why might this door be locked? For me to open it, of course? Precisely. For you to open it, of course. Wait. What is the right answer, anyway? Alright, so. These two are the same gun, except one of them has I'm assuming that the bullet that passed through the victim landed in the bulletproof vest, so I'm gonna make that connection. Two bullets were fired in total. We know this because 2 shots were heard. One traveled through the flag and into the balloon. The other took Mr. Rook's life. But there's a bullet in the president's vest too, right? How is that possible? How indeed. The numbers don't add up. However, there is one possible explanation. There is? After passing through his body, the bullet that took Mr. Rook's life then found itself lodged in the vest. In other words, 2 of our bullets were in fact 1. No way!
He's right. If the president hadn't been wearing that vest, things could have been a lot worse. Oh, God.
He wasn't injured at all by the impact. Even when obstructed by a vest, a bullet can inflict serious damage. Yeah, the gameplay of the first game was basically the same. Nazi! Objection overruled. Sure, I've known guys who got broken bones that way. But the president's okay. He's made of strong stuff. Sounds like he didn't even need a vest. Let's not get carried away here. I want that bullet's ballistic markings analyzed. Remind me what those are again? Guns leave a unique pattern of grooves on every bullet they fire. If he says they're kind of like the fingerprints of a gun, I'm going to kill myself. By examining these grooves, we can use them to identify which gun it came from. Think of them as fingerprints of a... God damn it. Every single game that they bring up, fucking bullet tracings, they say, think of it like the fingerprints of a gun. You can tell all that from a bullet? Then what are we waiting for? Analyze away! It might be easier said than done. That bullet hits solid armor. The impact will have completely flattened it. You'll be lucky if there's anything left for forensics to find. What? But I was all set for some analyzing. Rip. These are both the same gun. This has to be a connection. The two guns are exactly the same, meaning it's likely that the one we found is also from Zhengfa. The bodyguards all got their guns from the Zhengfa authorities, right? Yes. Are they, like, super rare or anything? No, I don't believe so. This model isn't exactly easy to come by in this country, but it's certainly not impossible either. Boo! And here I thought they might be valuable treasures. Yes, it is something of a shame. Whoa! I just mentioned treasures and you actually responded for once! I only mean to point out that if the guns were rarer, it would be much easier to trace them. Which would have made them treasures of the evidence variety, I suppose. Ha! See? Everything's a treasure hunt one way or another, including this investigation. You could say that. Alright then, it's treasure hunting time! On with the investigation! She certainly seems a lot more enthusiastic all of a sudden. That's quite enough investigating for now. What is taking so long, Detective Gumshoe? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, have you solved the case? No, not yet. Is that so? Then perhaps interviewing another key witness might help you to do so. Another witness? Who? You don't mean... The most important witness of all. The man on the other side of that door. He really intends to have me question the president. Now, if you would be so kind as to summon him, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop right there, the killer! You're nuts if you think I'll let him anywhere near you! Well, Mr. President, I'm sure you're watching us through your security feed, aren't you? In which case, I politely request that you show yourself. That is, if you value your bodyguard's life. Well then, if nothing else, we know what kind of a man you really are. Mr. President! Stop! You can't do this! Let's all just calm down, alright? Come on, detective. Where the blazes are you? Eek. The lights! What's happening? Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth. I would advise you to stay very still. It seems I will not be granted my audience with the president after all. Even with Mr. Knight's life as my bargaining chip. No! Stop! Ah! Eek! Kay! You won't get away with this, the killer! I have seen enough. And now I know the truth. Where are you? Where did you go? Jelly Cafe, thank you so much for the raid. Ah!
I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Edgeworth. Worth. Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe? Sir! Mr. Edgeworth, sir! He's fallen and he can't get up. I must have been knocked unconscious. Sir, you're okay! Are you alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Never mind me. He didn't hurt you, did he, Kay? Nah, I'm fine. Only just woke up myself. My head will be sore for a while, but that's about it, so you can stop worrying. Detective, did you manage to stop the killer? Well, see, Miss Lloyd came running out of the plane and, she told us he'd flown the coop. We were too late. I'm sorry, sir. Bodyguard over there told us something too. Seems there's an inflatable boat missing from by the window. The killer must have stolen it and rowed himself across the lake. What about the cordon around the park? I'd called everybody back in to stake out the plane, including the guy stationed across the water. No! So he's completely slipped through our fingers. Not the best look for the department, but yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Knight, you're alive. Yeah, no thanks to that murderer. Oh, that reminds me. I found this line on the ground next to you, Mr. Edgeworth. A calling card, marked with a seashell. Guess he wanted to leave a message. The killer usually leaves these next to the bodies of his victims. But you're not dead, sir. But I could have been. Maybe that's the message. I can't stop thinking about his parting words. I have seen enough, and now I know the truth. I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Edgeworth. Persoba. And now I know the truth. The truth about what? Roger that. I'll clear out here, sir. Over. What's going on? That was the president. He's coming out. Now? It's him. John Muscle. So he's the president of Zhengfa, Mr. Dijun Wang. And you are? It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. My name is Miles Edgeworth. The honor is all mine, Mr. Edgeworth. I am Dijun Wang. Your efforts on behalf of Zhengfa have not gone unnoticed. You averted something of a crisis. You must be referring to the Yatagarasu case. Thank you, sir. But all I did was solve a few local cases of murder. You are too humble. I have been observing your investigation. You are an impressive operator, Mr. Edgeworth. Even if Day Killer did get away. That's very kind of you to say. So he was watching through his security feed. Sadly, I must inform you that this is as far as your investigation goes. What do you mean? Hear me, foolish prosecutor, for I shall say this only once. Knight has apprised me of the state of affairs, and from this point forward, the case will be handled by Zhengfa's police force, the finest in the world. Even with the killer out of the picture, they're still looking to get me thrown off the case. What do you think you're doing, pal? Nobody talks to Mr. Edgeworth like that. If it hadn't been for him, the killer would have... Detective. Forgive him, Mr. President, but I must confess to being somewhat confused. I fail to see how or why this case falls within Zhengfa's jurisdiction. You fail to see? Enough, puny prosecutor! Thank you, Anonymous Gifter. You seek explanations from a head of state? I say no! 1,000 times no! I will not explain myself to you. Now hand over the evidence you have gathered, and remove yourselves from this plane. I'd do as he says if I were you, Edgeworth. This can't really be the end of the line, can it? Oh, rip. Case evidence handed to Mr. Knight. Why?
Why let us come so far only to pull the case out from under us?
Now, you may leave. Knight, detain the suspect. Yes, sir, right away. To make an attempt on my life, to murder one of my faithful servants, the effrontery, the villainy.
I didn't murder nobody. 'Cause
Shut your mouth, Miss Journalist.
I...
Answer me this. In a world already lousy with lies, with deception, with sin and iniquity, can we stand by and suffer yet another crime to go unpunished? I say no! 1,000 times no! There can be no forgiveness. There can be no surrender! Why, you ask me? Then I will tell you.
He's hiding something. I'm certain of it. He's still yapping along while Miles is having his little fucking monologue. If I leave now, we'll never know the truth.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Mr. Edgeworth, there's gotta be something we can do. Thinky. Think, Miles. Remember, how many times have you faced situations like this in the courtroom? You've confronted the lies of witnesses and countered the arguments of other lawyers. Has the critical evidence always been laid at your feet? No. And yet you always got to the truth of the situation in the end. With your greatest weapon of all, your words. Now, let us analyze the state of play. Oh man, this dude's huffing and puffing.
Begone, puny prosecutor! Or do you dare defy the direct order of a president?
He's not going to listen. Clearly means to drown out any objection by means of pure rhetorical force. When an opponent is on the offensive, the best thing I can do is bide my time and wait for an opening. As he said himself, he's a head of state, a seasoned politician. He won't open himself up to attack easily. Megaclip, thank you so much for gifting us on. I can't let him bully me into submission. I have to stay calm and alert. If I can read his movements and expressions correctly, I may be able to find my moment. My first aim should be to find out why he is insisting on Zheng Fa taking over the case. The board is set. Time to make my opening gambit. So who will take over the case? Please, about the case.
Did I give you permission to speak? No! 1,000 times no! I am the leader of Zheng Fa. I have no time for your insolent backchat.
I was simply hoping to confirm one basic fact. You say that the investigation will now be assigned to your national police force?
I do. Now enough of your pointless questions.
I'll keep biting.
Good boy. The interior of this plane is the sovereign territory of Zheng Fa. You have no rights here.
Is that so? Could it be that our current location itself is significant somehow? I should keep that in mind. It could be a useful clue. Could you at least explain to me why I'm off the case?
Imbecile! Cease your insolent jabbering! I need not explain myself to you. My reasons are my own, and they are none of your concern.
Perhaps it's time to employ my clue. In the course of our conversation, I've deduced certain facts about your behavior, Mr. President. For example, you seem particularly aggressive when discussing our current location.
Smarty smart aleck.
As you said yourself, the presidential plane is the sovereign territory of Zheng Fa. And from that we can infer that you believe the rules of extraterritoriality apply inside here. Is that correct?
Enough! Cease your objectionable whining.
You can rant and roar all you like, but you won't escape my scrutiny. It was unmistakable. The moment I mentioned extraterritoriality, you became visibly agitated. Z, thank you so much for gifting a sub. I appreciate it.
You think you're clever, don't you? Let me answer your little question.
It's true. Extraterritoriality applies. Your laws mean nothing here. And why does that matter, you ask? It matters because it means you are powerless. You have neither influence nor authority here. Interesting. So the extraterritoriality issue does have something to do with all of this. Let's dig a little deeper into the claim that the plane is sovereign territory, shall we? This next move will surely decide the victor. He may be the president, but nobody is untouchable. America moment. I just have to find the right angle of attack. You believe that extraterritoriality applies here, but can you prove it? Do you even understand what you are asking? Of course. If I didn't, I wouldn't ask it. Have you no shame, calling into question the good word of one such as myself? I have no more time for this. You clearly cannot be saved from your own foolishness. You needn't worry about me. I'm not the one who needs saving. That would be Miss Lloyd, the woman who is being wrongfully accused of this crime. Your chivalry is admirable, but it changes nothing. The right to extraterritoriality cannot be denied. This is Zhengfa! If I want to take this any further, I'll need a clue of some kind. Let me try another tack for now. Surely you see that you have overplayed your hand. Nobody asked for your opinion. You need only obey me, nothing else. You dare tell me how to govern, how to lead? You dare contradict me? On the matter of Miss Lloyd's guilt, yes, I do. No! She is guilty! She is the culprit! There is nothing left to debate! Who else could have fired from outside the plane? There was no other viable suspect. Fascinating. So he's claiming that Miss Lloyd fired at him from outside the plane. This could be a vital clue. Extraterritoriality doesn't apply here because the crime was committed outside of the plane. Alright, so I'm assuming this is where I use my clue. Time to deploy my clue. I may not be able to call the extraterritoriality of the presidential plane into doubt. However, according to you, she shot at you from outside the aircraft, correct? In which case, extraterritoriality could not possibly apply in this case. Your assertion is entirely without merit, and the detainment of Miss Lloyd cannot be justified. Rawr! How could I have bested by a mere prosecutor? But I am the president! The president! Checkmate. I trust you won't mind if we continue our investigation now, Mr. President. I hereby officially and unreservedly confer my approval. Consider it a gesture of the magnanimity and generosity for which my good office is known. Yes, for without noble acts such as these, unmistakably and irrefutably, for which reason we hereby... There can be no other outcome, for our goals are lofty and our hearts... People of Zhengfa, I swear to you here and now, this investigation will continue! All that when you could have just said, okay, you got me. Mr. Knight, if you would care to return the evidence. Take it. We did it, Mr. Edgeworth! We sure did, and now the investigation can continue. Whatever. Enjoy your pocket full of pawns. I'll be over here enjoying how you put them into play. Then you will definitely enjoy my next move. Mr. President, one more favor if you would be so kind. What is it? Could you please give us your testimony concerning the incident itself? Now you want me to testify? Whoa, whoa, that's your next move? If you want the president to testify, you'll have to take him to court. All in good time, Mr. Knight. He will get his day in court soon enough. But if a person of interest refuses to cooperate at the investigative stage of the process, they are obliged to provide detailed justification as to their reasons for doing so. What's the matter? Is there something you'd rather we didn't know? Stand down, Knight. I'll do as the prosecutor asks. Thank you for your cooperation. Now listen, and listen well. Where was I when the incident occurred? The stage, of course. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang! A shot rang out, and a plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. No hesitating for an instant, my bodyguards tried to escort me back to the safety of the plane. And then, the second shot. The bullet went right through Rook and lodged itself in the bulletproof vest I was wearing. I guess if you look at it in one way, the president is also a victim here. Yes, the victim of an attempted assassination. Rook was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that makes it even weirder. Why would the target of a crime try to obstruct the investigation? My guess is that there's something behind all this that he doesn't want made public. A cover-up, huh? I knew there was more to this case than meets the eye. And the president isn't the only one who knows the truth. Isn't that right, Mr. Knight? Time to get to the bottom of this once and for all. All right. Okay.
Hold it!
Suddenly, they jumped. When they stepped in to protect you, were you aware of the fact that you were being targeted? Was I aware of that? No, I was aware of my audience, nothing else. When I step up to the podium, I enter another world entirely. A place of rapture, a place beyond words. Yeah, I think that's called stage fright. I bet you were like a deer in headlights. No, 1,000 times no. I remember every second. Each moment is indelibly etched in my memory. When Rook and Knight stepped in, I was shocked, overwhelmed, taken aback. Then bang, a shot rang out. A plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby.
Hold it!
About that red balloon. Are you trying to test me, Mr. Prosecutor? No, Mr. President. I simply wish to confirm what you remember. Very well. There were two very large, very round balloons, one on either side of the stage. Their deep crimson hue stood stark against the sky, just as the security plan said they would. The same security plan we found in the trash can, I assume. Rook and Knight leapt to my aid just before the balloon exploded. Okay.
Hold it!
Do you know where that second bullet went? Is this how you treat a foreign dignitary? Or do you really think such needling questions necessary? Whoa, what's he so upset about? Must you insist on going over the same details again and again? Even my patience has its limits. You know full well where it went. The bullet went right through Rook and
Hold it!
If I may ask, what was the victim like in that moment? He was a man amongst men, a real hero. The mere impact of the bullet took my breath away, and yet he had the strength to grab me and rush me back inside the presidential plane. So you and the victim entered the plane together, that correct? Yes, he offered his noble protection, and I gladly accepted it. All was as it should be. That sounds nice and all, but doesn't that just mean he's always the first to make his escape? He's the president, detective. It's basically in his job description to do so. Nothing he's saying seems too off base. Guy's the victim here. Wouldn't make much sense for him to lie to us, you know? Guess we gotta assume he's telling the... No. One of the things he said is clearly wrong. Think back to the scene of the crime. Huh? Did we miss something? Alright, let me see that evidence again. Might as well take another look myself. I'm assuming it's related to the balloon, which was not a balloon, it was the Steel Samurai.
So let's present this.
Objection!
The Steel Samurai is fucking dead. You say it was a plain red balloon that burst, but I strongly beg to differ. Take a look at this. I think you'd agree that it's hardly plain, wouldn't you? No! Look at that face! Look at his face! What? Who is that? Mr. President, meet the Steel Samurai. I would have hoped you might recognize him. Especially if you were hoping to ingratiate yourself with the people of this country. Yeah, you need to watch the Damn Ninja too. He's amazing. So you see, the balloon that was struck by the bullet was anything but plain. It was in fact one of the Steel Samurai. But the briefing mentioned 2 plain red balloons. And there they are, right on the security plan. They do look pretty plain, don't they? Just simple round balloons. Knight, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself. Yes, Mr. President. It seems a Steel Samurai balloon was borrowed at the last minute, sir. Borrowed? That's what we were told. Guess they only reported the incident to us bodyguards, though. Seems there was a little trouble here on site last night. One of the original balloons burst somehow. So they swapped it in as an emergency replacement? Yeah, one of the stall holders happened to have it. From what I hear, he was more than willing to lend it out. A very happy-go-lucky kind of guy, they said. A happy-go-lucky stall holder with a Steel Samurai balloon to spare. Huh. That's another reference to Phoenix Wright 1. They just filled the bottom part with the air to make it look like the other ornamental balloon. So, while it was a Steel Samurai balloon, it was made to look like a plain red one above water. Is that the long and short of it? Knight! Why was I not informed of this? Sorry, sir. We didn't think it was a pressing issue. And indeed, you saw it and knew no difference, correct? Yes, I suppose so. Could you really have mistaken the Steel Samurai's pants for a plain red balloon? Still, Mr. President, I struggle to see how you wouldn't have noticed something different about the balloon. Of course! What's that outburst for? Now I remember! I could barely see the balloon. You couldn't see it. That's right. The wind was blowing too hard. The flags to the sides of the stage were flapping incessantly and blocking my view. Is that so? Yes, those 2 flags. They were blown back towards me. There would have been a strong wind blowing right around the time of the incident. Strong enough to blow the flags in just such a fashion. But does that conflict in any way with our understanding of the case? Yes, it does! Thank you, Mr. President. Your testimony has revealed yet another contradiction. It has? Yes, a contradiction that could turn this entire case on its head. When I arrived on the scene, the wind had died down, and the flags were resting calmly for the most part. But if the wind had previously been blowing the flags as the President describes, a certain piece of evidence suddenly takes on a very different meaning. Which piece of evidence do I have that does the... It's the flag. Do I not have the flag on me? Oh, here it is.
Take that!
Oh, I have to... I guess I have to show the trajectory of the bullet. It's the trajectory. What device am I on? This is a computer.
Take that!
Earlier, we deduced that the bullet that struck the Steel Samurai balloon and the bullet that passed through the flag were one and the same. From these 2 things, we further deduced the trajectory that the bullet must have taken. And we concluded that our shooter must have fired from the left side of the spectator area.
But if the flags were blowing as the president describes, our conclusion becomes quite different. No way! If the flags were pointed in the other direction... Exactly. Our trajectory changes completely. And if we trace that trajectory back to its source, we can ascertain who really fired that shot. Wait, but Mr. Edgeworth, that would mean... Yes, I know. You may not yet understand the reason why, but it can only have been one person who did it. Who does the bullet's new trajectory implicate as the one who fired the shot? It would have to be... Look, here's another thing. There's two dudes that are in the line of the bullet, right? It's the president and Knight. I'm gonna assume that it's Knight.
Take that!
The person who fired that shot was none other than you, Mr. Knight. What? The path from the balloon back through the flag leads directly to the spot where you were standing. But the guy's one of the president's bodyguards. Why the heck would he go around shooting balloons? This is absurd. What exactly are you trying to imply? That Mr. Knight, a man who has saved my life countless times, is my would-be assassin. Seriously, Edgeworth, we put up with a lot from you, but this? We're President Wang's bodyguards. We're the pieces put on the board to protect the king. I'll handle this, Knight. Sorry, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, the wind was indeed blowing quite fiercely around the time of my speech. But the wind can pick up and die away in an instant, can it not? Therefore, I need proof. Proof that it was blowing hard enough to lift the flags during that crucial moment. The first shot was fired right around the time the president raised his fist. I have a piece of evidence that shows just that. Perhaps it can also show us what's happening with the flag then, too. Oh, maybe... Fuck, the security monitor would have captured it. This doesn't show us what's happening with the flags, though. Wait, no, yeah, it does.
Take that!
Your proof is in this picture right here. This should be good. Which picture? Where? We can see which way the flag was really blowing right here. There it is. Well, do you deny that it clearly shows the flag? There we have it. Proof that it was blowing towards you at the moment of the shooting. So that means our pal over there did shoot the balloon, making him the assassin? Mr. Knight. Well, hang on. This is a pretty strong claim. I feel like he is. My gut's telling me that he is the killer. Mr. Knight is our assassin. A shocking accusation. I will be intrigued to learn how that would be to his advantage. Huh? What do you mean? He means, what would I have to stood by gaining... What would I have stood to gain by killing the president? I'm his bodyguard. If he's not around anymore, neither is my job. Now, why would I give that up? He's right. Why would he? Mr. Knight is not the assassin. Is not the assassin. He may have shot the balloon, but the president was on the other side of him entirely. Therefore, he can't have been aiming at his boss. Yeah! Besides, why would I even shoot the balloon? What would be the point? And watch how you answer. I might aim for something else next. There was a point. I'm sure of it. If I can figure out what it was, perhaps I can finally put this whole conundrum to rest. Knight definitely shot the balloon. That fact alone changes everything about the case. I'm assuming it's this. Yeah. Why did Knight's assigned position change? I told you, I can't turn my neck to the right. I can only cover the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage. But is that the only reason? Let us suppose that the plan hadn't changed, that Knight had remained posted on the left. Given that he was unable to turn his head to the right, would he even have been able to shoot the balloon closest to him? Could it be that the security plan was changed for the express purpose of popping one of the balloons? And if we suppose that to be the case, the two plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point? Yeah, we made some last-minute changes yesterday. President's orders. That's right. The president was the one who ordered the change. So he knew about it. If I'm reading things right, the president knew in advance about the balloon shooting, which means he must have had foreknowledge he would be in someone's crosshairs today as well. And if that's true, then everything else that's been bothering me falls neatly into place. How did the shooter get a gun past such heavy security? And why would they then carry out the shooting wearing such a conspicuous item of clothing? Why use a laser sight that would give away their location in an instant? And how did the president suffer no injuries at all, despite a direct hit to his vest? It was staged! It's a staged assassination! These are the questions that Knight and the president don't want us to consider. There is only one possible reason for Mr. Knight to have fired his gun. To create the illusion of an assassination attempt. What? Huh? Idiot. You do understand what you're saying. Oh, I understand all too well. I understand everything now. Most of all, I understand why you were so keen to take this investigation off my hands, Mr. President. You wanted your real plans to remain hidden. How dare you speak to me that way? Is this some sort of sick joke? Oh, it's no joke, I assure you. It's simply the truth, as revealed by the careful application of logic and reasoning. Nothing more. President gets destroyed by facts and logic. The first shot was fired by Mr. Knight with the specific intention of hitting that balloon. The sound of gunfire and the bursting of the balloon were guaranteed to cause a panic. And then he fired again. He did? Yes, he fired 2 bullets, both of which were aimed at the balloon. As for why he did so, it's because the second shot was designed to create the impression that the president had been hit. So then what's the deal with the one in the vest? I'm willing to bet that bullet was planted there long before the shooting ever occurred. So Mr. Heroic President didn't take a bullet after all. That's not true! I was shot, I tell you! We'll be able to verify that for ourselves once we take a closer look at the bullet. At the very least, we can expect to find traces of Mr. Rook's blood on it, correct? But you said it yourself! You found the shooter in the photograph! The person with the red hood!
Objection!
I thought I made myself clear. The trajectory points to one only possible shooter, Mr. Knight. Then where does Tabby fit into all this? She was simply one part of the plan. In order to place the suspicion elsewhere, they set about creating a fake assassin. The highly suspicious person with the red hood. I have yet to ascertain exactly how complicit Miss Lloyd was in the whole scheme. But I can say with some confidence that none of the shots were fired by her. I suspect her only job was to point a laser sight at the president. That's right! And then I was tasked with turning your jacket inside out the moment the crowd flew in a panic, yes. Thus making the mysterious red-hooded shooter disappear in the blink of an eye. Then, when the gun and the security plan were later found in the trash can, it would have all appeared to have been the work of an assassin so skilled they could vanish into thin air. But then the case would have gone cold! Exactly what our friends here were hoping for. This is a great first case, holy shit. I'm loving this. Makes sense now why they wanted you off the case. A lot of the time, there are some amazing good cases in this series, like amazing first cases in this series. This one is definitely like really high up there.
This is a very cool case.
Indeed, because the entire affair was a cheap ruse perpetrated by the president himself. Oh no. Now he's all flabby. No, the presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Admit it. The entire assassination was a lie, wasn't it? If that stupid chief prosecutor hadn't insisted on assigning you... how could I let this happen?
Objection!
Oh, shit! That's enough, Edgeworth. Mr. Knight! Sorry, but I'm speaking with the president right now. Yeah, well, I'm doing my job as a knight and protecting my king. Revolver, Ocelot. So go ahead, keep running your mouth. Perhaps it would be better if we stuck to threatening each other with words. You wouldn't.
Wait, what did she say?
Would he?
Nah, I don't need this thing to shut you up. Alright, my move. Question. You claim I fired my gun from on stage. How do you figure I did that in front of a crowd of thousands? An excellent point. Time for my counter move, I suppose. You had a certain something that allowed you to conceal your actions. Certain something, huh? Mighty specific. What did Knight use to hide his actions from the crowd? The attaché case!
Take that!
My attaché case? Yes, take a look at Kay's photograph. Your right hand is completely obscured by the case. At the very moment this picture was taken, you were firing your gun. And in such a way that you wouldn't be detected.
Objection!
You don't like to let the facts get in the way of a good theory, do you, Edgeworth? Shame you don't seem to have noticed. Noticed what? That theories are all you have. Conjectures, nothing more. Flag was billowing in the wind at precisely the right moment. I hid my gun with my attaché case. You changed the security plan because I couldn't turn my head. It's all just speculation, circumstantial evidence at best. You can't prove any of it. If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine, you could have run forensics to see if it matched my gun. But no, that bullet is at the bottom of the lake. You gonna go dredge it up? I hate to say it, but he's right. I don't have anything concrete. I thought not. Maybe now you can shut your mouth. Oh my god, gumshoe clutch? No. Miss Lloyd. Of course. She could shed some light on this whole situation. I just need to get her to talk. What's the matter? Something you want to say, Miss Journalist? No, never mind. That's what I thought. Miss Lloyd. I need you to be brave. If you don't speak up, the truth will be lost forever. You are a journalist, after all, are you not? Dang it! I can't stay quiet any longer! Hey! You understand what you're doing, right? I'd think carefully before opening that mouth of yours. I was so focused on bagging me a scoop, I forgot the most important thing of all. Real journalists don't lie. Ain't no dang scoop if it ain't the truth. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I should have showed you this before. What is it? It's the laser pointer I used on the president. That's all I done. I never shot nobody. You stupid. I thought I told you. You squeal and you go down as an accomplice. It was him. He told me to do it. I was at Zhengfa's embassy sniffing out a story like I told you. This was 3 days back. He comes up to me out of the blue, just starts talking. Help me out and I'll get you exclusive access to the president, that kind of stuff. But what about the gun in the trash can? That I don't know nothing about, I swear it. All he's told me was to wear a jacket with a red hood and to point that there pointer at the president. I never thought for a moment it'd blow up in my face so bad. I'm sorry. Truly, I am. Thank you, Miss Lloyd. Yeah, her jacket's cool. I want her jacket.
Thank you, Miss Lloyd. I'd like you to testify to that effect when this goes to trial. It ought to go a long way towards proving that the assassination was a sham. Ah, what's wrong with you people? Don't any of you know what's good for you? My sympathies, Mr. Knight, as you successfully removed me from this case as you'd intended. Perhaps then you could have kept your pawn quiet, This case has so many good faces, holy shit. He's just like, "Urgh!" So let me get this straight. You told Tabby, if you let slip about our fake assassination plot, we'll have you convicted for murder. Or something like that? Of all the dirty... I said no such thing. Mr. Flabby. President Wong? Give it up, Knight. It's time we came clean. It's our only choice. So, Mr. President, you admit it. You admit that there was a plot to fake an assassination attempt? I do. I'm sorry. But why? Why do something like that? My popularity has been on the wane back home. I thought surviving an attempt on my life might give me the boost I needed. I know what we did was wrong, so yes, it was all lies, all of it. And the bullet in the vest. It was planted ahead of time. I wasn't hit by anything today. But then, what was up with the killer? Our plan got out somehow. And then he just appeared, hell-bent on turning our fake assassination into a real one. Hence the red raincoat, I suppose. He'd hoped to get in close enough as the fake assassin to finish the job. There is one thing I don't understand, though. Oh? And what would that be? Why did Rook have to die? If the whole thing was fake, how did he wind up getting killed for real? That's true. And therein lies the real question. He was a fine bodyguard, the best, in fact. He may not have been a native of Zhengfa, but he was someone I could fully trust. Mr. Rook must have been really something to gain the trust of someone who'd hide from his own shadow. Sounds like he was as trustworthy to the President as I am to you, huh, sir? I believe that's for me to say, Detective, not you. Mr. Rook must have known about the plan too, then, correct? He wasn't aware of any specific details, so not really. I tried to involve him, but he refused. You would have done well to listen to him. This is a tragedy. The life of a good man has been wasted. What was so great about him anyway? What's gotten into him? He was just another piece on the board, and there to protect you, nothing more. Mr. Knight, how could you? Who was it that actually went along with your plan, huh, Mr. President? Oh, that pious coward backed down when you needed him to step up the most. I value your support too, of course, but... Look, I'm your chief bodyguard now. That's all that matters. And now that that spineless fool Rook is gone, things are gonna change around here. Thanks to me, genius strategist, grandmaster, rightful leader of this team. You're all well aware of your ambitions, Knight. But doesn't this seem a little imprudent of you? Why? My plan this time was perfect. And as they always are, and as they always are, and as they always will be. That's quite a statement. Especially considering that your perfect plan was an abject failure. Yeah, no thanks to you, and that buffoon Rook. And how exactly was it Mr. Rook's fault? If he hadn't died, the killer would have never come after me. And I wouldn't have had to let you on this plane. Please, Mr. Knight, you mustn't talk like that. Fine. The guy died protecting you, Mr. President. I'm sure that's just what he always wanted. But did he die protecting the President? Wait! I thought the whole assassination thing was fake. Aw, come on. Do I have to say everything twice? We planned a fake assassination, but somebody else came along and tried to make it real. 2 shots were fired, remember? Like you said, Edgeworth, one of them was the bullet I shot through the balloon. But the second, that wasn't me. Oh, really? Then who did fire it? The real assassin, but not the killer. His plan was to come after the President with a knife. No, the most likely suspect here is is the piece cowering quietly in the corner. Our lily-white queen over there. What? Miss Lloyd? Again with this? I'm not your danged assassin! But is that really true? I, for one, don't believe it. The gun in the trash can. It can only belong to you! As soon as I shot that balloon, I rushed over to help Rook escort the president back onto the plane. I left Rook here in this room while I secured the president in the safe room. When I came back out, Rook was lying there on the ground. This journalist must have shot Rook while we were escorting the president off stage. That single killer shot was fired by the gun you found in the trash can. So you don't actually know when the victim was struck by the bullet, do you? The knight doesn't protect the rook, Edgeworth. He protects the king. You want to translate? He means that his only concern was protecting the president. Lose the king and you lose the game. Isn't that the first rule of chess? But a win in which a key piece is sacrificed is a hollow victory indeed. Doesn't matter, it's still a victory. I kept the president safe, I win. Well, it's a bit early to be calling our little match in any case, for this is where our battle really begins. And this is where I'm gonna end the stream, because I have to go. I know that this is blue balling you guys, but I have a thing that I need to do in 30 minutes, and I need to get ready for it. And I don't think we can finish this case in the next 30 minutes. So we're gonna save. It's gonna be a cliffhanger. But I already have some theories on where this is going in my head. Like, the missing security monitor is definitely a part of this. This is my assumption. I'm gonna compare it when... like, nobody... If you know the answer to this, then just smile. But my assumption... And again, I don't want any confirmation on this. It's just me thinking out loud. My assumption is that Knight killed Rook in the plane. After the shooting happened, he killed him, and then he destroyed the monitor to hide the evidence. Or I guess the monitor might have been destroyed during the shooting that he did. So if you know the answer, just smile. But anyway, we're gonna call it there. This game is fucking great. Like, as somebody that has played the second game, I mean the first game only, it is a huge step up. Like, holy shit. The first case in, like, Investigations 1 was legit just like, hey, somebody killed this dude. Who is it? Oh, there's this douchebag sports guy. It's probably him. It's a very open and shut first case. But this one is taking a lot of fun twists. I really, really dig it. And the Z, WTF? What did you say? Way to put the edge in Edgeworth. You funny. You're a funny guy. Mr. Jokes over here. All right. Where should I send you guys? Where should I send you? My thing in 30 minutes is literally, it's raid night. I'm raiding again. Let's go raid, Amelie. She just joined V Shoujo, so give her some love. She's playing Assassin's Creed 2, which is great. So, let's go say hi. Raid message. I need to update the raid message so it has Ben be breaking, because I think that's a funnier raid message. So it's just Ben be breaking, Ben be raiding. Let's go raid. I'll let you guys know when the next stream happens on Twitter and Blue Sky.
I'm like starting to get into the habit of using Blue Sky to announce streams. So I will let you guys know on both of those platforms when the next stream is. But until then, take care. Bye-bye-bye. Love all you so much. Thank you so much for the subs, the bits, the gifts. I appreciate you guys as always. And thank you for, like, taking it easy on the hints after the break. I appreciate it, guys. I know it's tough to watch somebody play a game that you know the answer to, and they're not getting the answer, but I appreciate your patience as I solve the crime. Because it's very exhilarating for me when I solve the crime. So thank you, guys. Until then, take care. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's go say hi to Amelie. Bye!